This afternoon, the NFL on NBC, and today we're at the vet, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Jones, along with Bob Trumpy. The Eagles' record is 5-6-1. They are still in the playoff picture, and they are counting on a young man in only his third NFL start. In fact, when Boomer Esiason had his first start, he was 12 years old. He was in the 6th grade.
Yeah, Boomer will appreciate us reminding him of that.
Bobby Hoying.
His name is Bobby Hoying. He told us yesterday when we talked to him, said the unique thing about me is 3 weeks ago I was the third quarterback. I didn't ascend to the starter. Look, I just became the starter. He is a big, strong kid, Charlie. Throws the ball very accurately, and Ray Rhodes has been searching for the answer. He believes that Bobby Hoying is the quarterback of the future for the Eagles.
Boomer Esiason, well, he's the quarterback of the now for the Cincinnati Bengals, and he was simply magnificent last week.
Yeah, and I think that is a perfect word. He spread the ball around. He ran the offense. He was in control of everything on the field. And the thing that surprised, I think, both of us, Charlie, when we talked to the Philadelphia Eagles here at the vet yesterday, they are genuinely concerned about Boomer Esiason and his history of success against the Philadelphia Eagles. They don't like the fact that Boomer Esiason's the starting quarterback today.
And for Boomer, this is his 170th NFL start. And his son Gunnar is here, courtesy of the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's getting his uniform on, and Gunnar's about ready, and we're ready, so stay with us. We'll be back with the kickoff here at the vet in just a moment. We mentioned that the Philadelphia Eagles are still in the playoff picture with this. It's a long playoff picture, Bob.
The advantage is you see Philadelphia down here at 5-6-1, but they still have games against Washington and the Giants in the division. The one thing that is imperative for those two games to count, the Philadelphia Eagles must beat the Bengals today. They have to basically win out, Charlie. And Ray Rhodes, that's one of the main reasons that he made the change to Bobby Hoying.
That's a tough change, though, isn't it, at this time of the year?
Well, it is, but Ray Rhodes told us when they drafted Bobby Hoying, he said he is our quarterback of the future. And the only reason that Hoying has not started earlier is that both Rodney Peete and Detmer have led the Philadelphia Eagles to the playoffs, and he really didn't want to turn everything over to the kid, Bobby Hoying. But because of the bad record, he had to make the choice.
Is there any greater burden in the NFL than being the quarterback of the future?
No.
And Costin has one too.
Well, no. Actually, Bruce is in a unique situation. Boomer Esiason is not the quarterback of the future.
No, but he does have a quarterback of the future sitting on the bench now after 52 starts.
Yeah, in those 52 starts, right behind there, Jeff Blake right there. Jeff Blake in those 52 starts threw 80 touchdown passes. So I'm not sure whatever problems the Bengals have had you can put squarely on the shoulders of Jeff Blake. But you can see he's up, he's animated, he's learned a lot from the master, Norman Julius Esiason.
Boomer. And for those of you that are young viewers and aren't familiar with Boomer Esiason, how did he get his nickname? As his young son Gunnar, who is fighting cystic fibrosis, is here and all suited up.
Boomer got his name while being carried by his mother. He kicked from day 2, apparently. So when he came out, he was instantly Boomer.
Boomer. Eagles win the toss. They elect to receive. Deuce Staley is the return man. Temperature is 47. Humidity is 83%. The forecast, cloudy. Oh, that's a pretty good forecast. Here's the return out to the 20, 25, 30, 35, down around the 37-yard line. Lawrence Wright made the tackle. Let's look at that offense of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Best center probably playing in the AFC right here in Steve Everett, formerly of the Cleveland Browns / Baltimore Ravens.
Backs and receiver.
Ricky Waters has been a big factor, but the huge story has been Irving Fryer. Again, over 1,000 yards in receiving. He's playing the spot that Jerry Rice played in this West Coast offense, and he's the guy that you must stop to stop the Eagles, and he starts from the backfield.
And he starts in motion. Eagles come out throwing, pass is complete. Going to the tight end, Jimmy Johnson. Let's look at the defense now of Cincinnati.
Last week, an extraordinary performance by this defense. They bent, but they did not break. And allowed Jacksonville 6 trips inside the 20, but came up with 1 touchdown and 4 field goals. It has been, shall we say, victimized for most of this season. Dick LeBeau, the new offensive coordinator, trying to insert the zone blitz package. It's been slow to catch on.
Go ahead. 2nd down and 4. Ricky Waters, the remaining back. Little swing and left flat. He's the outlet. And Ricky goes out of bounds just across the 45-yard line, about a half-yard shy of the first down. It was Gerald Dixon who picked him up for Cincinnati.
Charlie, when we talked to Bobby Hoying yesterday, one of the first questions I asked Bobby was, what do you bring? What do you do best? And he said he knows what he's doing. He understands the offense, and he does not make poor choices. Well, you can see he's yet to throw an interception in 2 starts.
Blitz is coming. It's a run blitz to try and stop Ricky Waters, but he picks up the first down, and that's a very dangerous defensive gamble, because if he gets past the run blitz, he's got all kinds of room to roam.
Yeah, and you're right, Joe. There are a whole bunch of long runs that are broken on 3rd and short. And Waters, one of those big, versatile running backs. There's Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator. I think a lot of offenses hope for that jam up at the line of scrimmage on 3rd and short, because if you can break 1 tackle, it's generally a lot of yards.
Dick LeBeau, of course, recognized as the father of the zone blitz. There are a few other fathers involved, too. Stepping forward, pass is complete. First down, good for 13 yards. Irving Fryer, a little bit low. Tito Paul had the coverage. Fryer, no, it's not Fryer. It's Michael Timpson who goes down to his knees with the reception.
From behind the defense, excellent protection by Bobby Hoying. You see both running backs sitting in there looking for any kind of blitz and then release. Again, Hoying, big, strong arm, played 5 years at Ohio State, was a starter for 3, and he's won everywhere he's been.
He is 3 of 3 in this drive. Ricky Waters with the call, breaks tackles, a little slow start, continuing effort inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Opening drive of the ball game. James Francis with the tackle for Cincinnati.
Ricky's not had a great season for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's just 848 so far this year. But in this offense, this West Coast style offense, he is the perfect running back for it, because he catches the ball as well as he runs it.
Back to number 2 receiver for the Eagles with 39 receptions coming into the ball game. 2nd down and a couple. Here is Waters, high stepping to the near side, and he is cut down. Ball comes out, but the play was already dead. It will not pick up the first down. Vincent Buckner with the stop. 3rd down and a yard.
Again, you've got double tight end set here. You get a lot of formations and a lot of movement by this Philadelphia offense. You see Brenson Buckner coming up from the inside. Good pursuit. Ball is on the ground. No question. Not a fumble. There's Ray Rhodes on the sideline. And Kozlik, both proteges of Bill Walsh.
3rd down and 1. Tal drops. Roll right. Pass complete. This time it is Irving Fryer on the receiving end for the first down.
Now, the thing I like about this offense and Hoying's ability to function in it, you don't have to make a lot of big plays. You just have to keep moving the chains. Fryer, one of those extraordinary players. Last week he had 7 catches for 116 yards. This is the most impressive thing. 50 receptions in each of the last 8 seasons with 3 different football teams. And he looks younger and fresher than he did 10 years ago, Charlie.
Charlie Garner now in as a running back. He gets the call, and he'll pick up a couple of yards on the play. So spotted at the 23-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Well, that's the center, Everett, getting up, kind of shaking his hand, wrist, or shoulder. That's his snapping hand, too. Can't really tell what the injury is, but one of the most athletic centers I think you can find in the league. We can shake it out here.
Second down and 8. Hoying calls for a timeout. I'm not sure if it's the defense or if it's his own center that he's worried about. We'll be back. No score.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By Century by Buick, discover a little luxury in this century. By Subway, the way a sandwich should be. And by IBM, solutions for a small planet.
And of course, historic Philadelphia, a chance to tour what many call the birthplace of the nation.
You were at Independence Hall yesterday.
Yes, and the Liberty Bell. Huh? And later we'll show you the crack. It's not the first crack. We learned a lot. Follow the NFL online. We'll have the Liberty Bell and more at MSNBCSports.com. There's so many great running backs in the league today, we decided to compare them all to see who's the best. NBC's Jim Mora shares his thoughts on what he looks for in a great back. Then vote for who you think is the league's best back. I voted for Barry Sanders. Plus, on this Thanksgiving, who said that? Plus, on this Thanksgiving weekend, we take a look at what each NFL team has to be thankful for. It's all at MSNBCSports.com. This is the 9th play of the drive. 2nd down and 8. A little swing in the right flat, and it is dropped by Ricky Waters, and he's a very good receiver. James Francis had the coverage. It'll be 3rd down and 8. When we went away, and I said to you that Hoying looks like he's been in this offense for 5 years, and you said,
yeah, it looks very comfortable, like it's the only offense he's ever been in. But they didn't have to force him into the lineup. That's the best thing about the situation with both Ty Detmer and Rodney Peete. He could sit and learn. There's the offensive coordinator, John Gruden. He was a college quarterback at Dayton. Spent some time with Green Bay under Mike Holmgren. So again, another variant of the West Coast offense now here in Philadelphia.
3rd down and 8, converting on 2 previous 3rd and 1s into the corner of the end zone. It is there. It is a touchdown.
What a throw.
With a great touch. Michael Timpson, that is his first touchdown of the season. Good for 23 yards.
That was a pretty throw.
On 3rd down and 8. That is the opening drive for the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's part of the magic of that West Coast offense. They think, they dump. A little here, little there, bam, deep.
O'Neal to attempt the extra point, and it is good. The Eagles go up 7-0. Bobby Hoying, his pass. He's decked. And his reaction. Back in a moment.
Charlie, back to the touchdown. Here's Timpson. He's going to go up a little shake move inside. Spencer's the man in coverage. This is just an excellent move by Timpson, a veteran move. Watch him shake inside. Spencer buys it, and Hoying puts it right on the money. Beautifully thrown. Not particularly good coverage. A spectacular score by Bobby Hoying.
We asked Hoying if he was healthy. He said, healthy? I haven't been hit in a year and a half.
Although his first start against the Ravens, he was sacked 9 times. Last week, he was sacked 3 times. So he's got some bumps and bruises, but he has been well rested.
James Hunden and Eric Bieniemy are the deep backs on the return. And this is Bieniemy who will pull it in at the 12-yard line after the 15, across the 20, and down at the 22-yard. The Eagles come out with the ball, but I believe the play was already there.
2 big changes now for Philadelphia. Throughout this season, they've suffered horrible field position. Their kickoff coverage has been awful, but that was a great stop. Joe Wessel, the special teams coach, and last year was the special teams coach for the Cincinnati Bengals.
So Cincinnati now on offense for the first time. They'll start at their own 27-yard line. Boomer Esiason, the quarterback. Barney Scott, now the #1 receiver, goes in motion. Steps forward, throws, and almost picked up. It is incomplete. Tony McGee, the tight end, was the intended receiver. Let's go to the lineups. Offensive line with the Bengals.
And the last 4 weeks, the addition of Kevin Sargent at left tackle seems to have helped the Bengals running game, performing reasonably well. And Corey Dillon now has emerged as the running back for Cincinnati.
2nd and 10. Here is Corey Dillon. The Eagles are there defensively, led by Red Hall. And let's look at that front 4.
This is an outrageous defense. absolutely outrageous.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's a four-man front. Pretty traditional looking, but they will give you more fronts, blitzes, and coverages in one game than any two teams do in a month. These guys are everywhere, and they are up the field on every single down. They can blow an offense up.
3rd down and 11. Boomer checks the defense. Blitz is coming, steps away from it, buys some time. Throws with a man hanging all over him and completes the pass for the 1st down.
What a play.
Tony McGee, the tight end, converting on 3rd down and 11 under all kinds of pressure.
You're going to see again a blitz, a lot of pressure on Boomer Esiason, and Boomer's able to step up and avoid the blitz. 51 comes late, Thomas. And Thomas is an excellent tackler. Then he runs into the arms of a defensive tackle, stays with the play, and makes the completion.
16 yards, 1st down. Here's Dillon leaning behind the right guard, leaning for a couple of yards. Out to the 44-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Greg Jefferson, the defensive left end for the Eagles, gets credit for the stop.
Another feature you'll see of the Cincinnati Bengal offense with Boomer at quarterback is a little more up-tempo, something that he certainly learned under Sam White and then continued with Jim Fossil out in Arizona, and it's a tempo that he likes. So, Bruce Coslet lets him do it.
Kansas City, early lead on San Francisco. As the ticker goes by, updating the other early ball games this afternoon. This one is incomplete. Dillon had his hands on it, and he was jarred by Charles Demery. Good defensive play.
Well, this is a defense that is absolutely amazing. You see his numbers last week. 26 of 36, 2 touchdowns. He threw the ball to 7 different receivers. But this Philadelphia defense is man-to-man coverage, bump and run, right up in everybody's face. They make you make every single play.
3rd down and 8. Remember, it was 3rd and 11, and they converted. Going to the tight end, Tony McGee. Here comes a blitz again. Good protection, picked up, fighting downfield. Tony McGee had to into some pushing and shoving, but with no flags flying, it will be 4th down. They'll have to kick it away.
And Matt Stevens, number 45, was all over the tight end, and Bruce Coslet is complaining that he was held.
It's a very good complaint because he was. Lee Johnson will kick. Freddie Solomon is the return man. Eagles are up by a score of 7-0, scoring on their opening drive. Does the turnover, taken at the 20-yard line. Looking for a right return. Nice downfield coverage by the Cincinnati Bengals. That was Gerald Dixon. 36-yard punt. Back in a moment. 7:39. That is the time remaining in the 1st quarter. The Eagles have the ball on their own 20-yard line, and they have the early lead, 7-0. And this is their first possession, led by their young quarterback, Bobby Hoying.
That's not a bad start. 5 of 6, 3 of 3 on 3rd down conversions. They didn't run much. But Hoying spread it around, sprinted a little bit.
Got to tell this story that he mentioned, because we want to get it in early. His fiance is in town, and she went shopping the other day. Are you ready for this? Came back. She brought Christmas china. His statement was, "I've never even heard of Christmas china."
Yeah.
And he described it. It was Rudolph and all the other reindeer are on the Christmas china.
Yeah, he said, "I didn't know I needed Christmas china."
And you said you'll get to use it once a year.
That's right.
Oh, to be young again. Little play action fake. Pump fake, pulls it back down. He wanted to come quickly to the outside. There was coverage there, pulled it back down as we go to New York.
All right, Charlie, and we go to Foxborough, where the Patriots are on the board. Bledsoe to Sam Gash out of the backfield, 3 yards and a touchdown, and the Patriots kick the extra point and lead Indy 7-0 in the 1st. Charlie.
That's our score here. Philadelphia leading Cincinnati 7-0, and that was a pretty heady play by pulling that throw down. That could give them all kinds of problems.
Yeah, one of the things young quarterbacks tend not to do is take a sack. You know, and again, Hoying makes the right choice. He's not going to throw it up, turn it over.
Fumble and Noah, play action fake. And down the sideline is Bobby Hoying.
I thought it was a fumble because
I did too.
He missed the handoff to Charlie Garner. This is a totally busted play.
It'll be in the playbook next week.
Yeah. In fact, Charlie Garner, you're going to watch number 30. He turns around after Hoying passes him and thinks the ball is on the ground. Watch Garner. See, he thinks the ball is on the ground.
Hoying, quick reactions out to the 36-yard line.
He's not known as a running quarterback, but at 25, well, the more you can do.
17 yards, first down. You have to love playing behind a kid like that, too. This time he hands it off to Ricky Waters, and Waters made sure he had the ball.
Yeah, you can see Hoying's enthusiasm, too. You know, great energy in Bobby Hoying. He is really loving the idea that he's now the starting quarterback, and he recognizes that sitting on the bench behind him are Rodney Peete, who today is the third quarterback, the emergency quarterback. He led the Eagles to the playoffs and a win. And Detmer, the former Heisman Trophy winner, he led the Eagles to the playoffs. Hoying gets his chance. He wants to make the absolute best of it.
Eagles up 7-0. This is their second offensive drive. This one is incomplete. Could have been caught. Freddie Solomon, a little bit behind him perhaps. So it will be 3rd down and 9. Now we've got 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter, and the first quarter time-wise has been dominated by the Philadelphia Eagles. Cincinnati's had the ball one time. They picked up one first down.
Yeah. And that's the nature of the West Coast style of offense. Just keep control of the ball. Just keep spreading it all over the field.
3rd down and 9. Stop here by Cincinnati. They get a pretty good field position. This one is knocked away. Sam Shade makes the play for Cincinnati, and so the Eagles will have to kick. Good defensive play.
Yeah, the slant pattern that was run by Irving Fryer, you're going to see the safety come right out here underneath Sam Shade, 35, and knock the ball away. And actually, I think if he puts 2 hands up, he catches it and runs it in for a touchdown.
Craig Myers is the return man for Cincinnati. Tom Hutton will kick it away. Good protection. High, lazy floater. Taken to the 12-yard line. 3rd man gets him, and gets him well. It's Kevin Turner, the fullback. Nice open field tackle, a 51-yard kick, a 9-yard return. Cincinnati on offense, trailing 7-0. 5:18, that is the time remaining in the first quarter. The Eagles up by a score of 7-0. NBC Tonight starts with an all-new Dateline, followed by all-star bloopers and outtakes from your favorite TV shows. I think they're going to grab a couple of ours today. Then Chevy Chase stars in a great family comedy, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You like that?
Oh, I love Cousin Eddie.
Following bloopers, that's here on NBC Tonight.
Charlie, I notice Kozlik now has the headset on. The last several weeks he's not worn the headset. I said he took it off to be a little more of an administrator, but now on the offensive side on the field, Ken Anderson and Bruce Kozlik have the headsets on. Kenny now he's calling the plays, and in fact Boomer said, you know, I feel so connected with Kenny. I know what's coming in.
He said last week there was only one call, right?
One change.
One change throughout the whole ball game. Second time in offense now for Cincinnati. Corey Dillon, nice hold on the left side, and he has 10, 11, maybe 12 yards. He'll pick up the first down before James Darling makes the tackle.
Charlie, the first comment to make here is that you noticed that Cincinnati went to the line and sat there for a little bit. It's much easier to run the ball when you give the offensive lineman a second or two to adjust, make the proper call for the run, and Corey Dillon picks up 11 yards.
First down. Here is Dillon to the right side on the pitch. He's in trouble. Gets his way back to the line. He salvages 4 or 5 yards when it really wasn't there. Ran all with a tackle.
He does break an awful lot of tackles. What did you say last night? I'm looking for 4 yards every time I carry the ball.
I have a 4-yard principle.
Yeah, and this change right here, the 3-1 record in the rushing yards, when they inserted Dillon into the lineup every day and Kevin Sargent at left tackle, all of a sudden the offense got a whole bunch better.
Dillon now picking up only 1 yard on this carry after picking up 5 on the previous, while it's Thompson with the tackle. Mark it 3rd down and 3.
Dillon leaves the field, and they bring in Eric Bieniemy, the one, and Kajana Carter, because he hasn't really caught on to all the pass protection yet. And that is a huge factor when it comes to playing a team like Philadelphia. You need those backs to block. Here comes the blitz.
As a man open, and he hits him. Pass is complete to James Hunden, I believe, down the sideline and out of bounds. Whoa! That was 3rd down and 3 with a blitz coming, and Cincinnati turns it into their biggest gain of the ball game to the 8-yard line, 53 yards.
You're going to see the crossing pattern, and again against a blitz man-to-man team, that is an excellent call. That's what you want to do, is get them running sideways. And there was excellent protection. They picked up all the blitzers, allowed Esiason the time, and Hunden runs the cross for a big completion.
And he can fly, according to Bruce Cosner. 8-yard line, 1st down goal to go. Back to Dillon. Clogged up on the right side. He is dropped to the 10-yard line. You lose a couple. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go. Greg Jefferson was there.
Now, one thing about Cincinnati, even though they do not get inside the 20 very often, when they do get inside the 20, they have been absolutely spectacular. As a matter of fact, they are the best in the league at converting from inside the 20.
Boomer throwing this one. No, does he get it on the edge? Yes! I thought for a moment he was going to throw it away, but Darnay Scott had a low 5 from Gunner. Aimed it right at the sideline. The only man who could catch it was Darnay Scott. The defender had absolutely no chance on the coverage. That is a perfect pass for the touchdown.
Yeah, Troy Vincent was the man in coverage. It was great coverage. There's Gunner. He's now Dad's lucky charm at home and on the road. One of those throws that veteran quarterbacks do. They throw to a receiver covered and are still able to make the completion.
Doug Pelfrey with the extra point for the tie, and it is there. We've got whistles and flags.
The offense, number 75, retry from the 7-yard line.
So Pelfrey will have to do it again. An impressive drive of 79 yards, 53 yards on the big play of the drive. And again with the tie. Perfect. So we are tied at 7 with 2:46 left to go in the first.
Charlie, let's go back to that long pass play. You're going to see all the pressure up front by the defense, and here's Hunden running the crossing pattern, and Boomer gets just enough protection that he can wait for Hunden to release through the defense. And you see the defensive back kind of gets picked off, and that's exactly what you're trying to do when you've got man-to-man coverage. Turns into be the big factor. And then the receiver, Darnay Scott's going to come across here. Boomer waits. And Vincent's not looking back. A perfect throw by Boomer Esiason, as you said, Charlie. And Boomer realizes how perfect the throw.
An advantage on that throw being left-handed.
Yeah, excellent point. That's Boomer's 5th touchdown pass of the season against no interceptions. And Gunner, yeah,
he's got a left-handed high five.
Way to go, Dad.
Ball game tied at 7. 239th career touchdown pass. Earlier in the ball game, Bobby Hoying, his 4th career touchdown pass. Just to give you a small quarterback comparison. Deuce Staley is the return man. Has it at the 10-yard line. Deuce is to the 30, to the 40. Another good return out near the 45-yard line.
Yeah, you're the Eagles fans cheering. They're not used to returns like that.
Check of the tick of the early scores. Buffalo leading, New England leading. What's happening in Kansas City? Well, the 49ers to a field goal, 7-3. Less than a minute to go in the first in that one. Baltimore in front of Jacksonville, 7-3. Washington leading St. Louis. New Orleans and Carolina, no score. Here we are tied at 7. Cincinnati and Philadelphia. Eagles on offense for the 3rd time in the ball game. A little stutter step and a move to the left by Ricky Waters. Quarterback comparison.
Certainly positive numbers. Bobby Hoying is going with the short stuff, except for the long touchdown pass to Timpson. And Boomer Esiason going with the long stuff. With the big reception by Hundon down the sideline. Both wearing number 7.
Hundon with only 10 receptions coming into the ballgame, and 3 of his previous 10 were last week. This one is intercepted. This is the first interception off of Hoying, and the Eagles, that's the first time that he has been picked in the National Football League. And the Eagles offense was frozen for a moment. They weren't sure if Sam Shade hadn't made the interception. And the return, and Cincinnati's going to have the ball at the 34-yard line.
Charlie, I'm not sure they're going to have the ball, because when he was tackled, the ball was down and it popped loose.
And there's a coverage going on.
The pass was intercepted and then fumbled back. Philadelphia recovered. First down.
The pass was intercepted, returned, fumbled back, and the Eagles regain possession. They'll have a first down at their own 34-yard line.
Happens right out here. And Sam Shade also almost made an interception earlier. It is a good interception, but then when he not hit particularly hard, but the ball is definitely loose. It goes right to an offensive lineman. It's kind of pulled out by Bobby Hoying, and number 71 for the Eagles. Jermaine Mayberry makes the recovery. A loss of yards, but the Eagles keep the ball.
And a first down at their own 35-yard line. Ricky Waters to the right side. He's out near the 40-yard line, and he fumbles, and Cincinnati has the ball back.
Ashley Ambrose comes up with the football. It's not raining.
It's raining footballs. So Cincinnati has the ball now at the Philadelphia 44-yard line. Here's another look.
Just a simple lead sweep. See who gets their hands in there. Can't really tell. Nothing there. Well, he was just carrying it very carelessly. So the Bengals come up with 2 turnovers on 2 successive plays. Only this one they keep.
Want to see what they can get going on the ground with Corey Dillon, and if they can hold the ball.
Again, Boomer looks like he's going with a little quicker pace. Dillon going to the sideline to put a shoe back on. A nice reception by Corey Dillon right over the middle. Ricky Waters on the sideline. Not someone who coughs the ball up often.
39-yard line, second down and 5. Boomer delays a bit on the handoff to Keaton Carter. Carter goes to the 36.
I was shocked to hear Boomer say last night that over the last year and a half, last half of the season in Arizona, and to this point this year, although he's played little, he said it's the best football I've played in my career. I know this offense inside and out. I read defenses better now than I ever have in the past. He said, I am playing absolutely at my best, ever.
Third down 3. Slips a sack, slips a second sack, goes deep, has a man open, 5-yard line, and into the end zone is James Hundon with a touchdown. And credit that to Boomer. He slipped 2 potential sacks.
Absolutely remarkable. Esiason, not known as one of those elusive quarterbacks, but he just stayed with the play.
37 yards on the pass play to Hundon. His first touchdown of the year. We want to check. Is that the first of his career? Quickly into the record book. Extra point is good. Cincinnati has taken the lead now with 22 seconds left to go in the first.
Boomer gets away from Richard Dent, then the nose tackle. And Boomer is a big, strong kid, but even in his heyday, he wasn't very good at getting away from rushers. But Hundon stays with the pattern, and frankly, Philadelphia defensive backs drop the coverage, and therefore it's a relatively easy completion for the touchdown. And I repeat what Ray Rhodes and his assistant said. We are scared to death of Boomer Esiason. The last 300-yard passing performance by a quarterback against the Eagles was Boomer Esiason with the Arizona Cardinals last November, and he beat him on a last-second pass. It was a 36-30 win. He threw for like 367 yards, and Boomer is inspired.
That is the perfect word. That is Hundon's second career touchdown reception. He had one last year.
Thank you very much. Right. And Waters with the fumble.
Deuce Staley is the deep back on the return. Passing at the 9-yard line. Good return going, but then he's pulled down at the 23 by Sam Shade as we go to New York for an update.
All right, Charlie, at Jacksonville, the Ravens and the Jaguars. This is Mark Brunell to throw. The ball deflects and then is picked off by Antonio Langham of the Ravens, who returns 40 yards for a touchdown. Vinny Testaverde has just thrown a 15-yard touchdown pass to Jermaine Lewis in the second quarter. Baltimore leads the Jaguars 14-3, Charlie.
And here our score is Cincinnati 14, Philadelphia 7. And the Eagles have the ball with 12 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Not a lot there originally for Charlie Garner, but he doesn't let that deter him, and he ends up picking up a couple of yards on the play out to the 25-yard line as we officially come to the end of the first quarter. Gunnar Esiason, suffering from cystic fibrosis, here to watch his dad, currently leading Philadelphia. As we come back, Charlie Garner is in the ballgame. Ricky Waters is on the sideline.
Now that fumble, for a lot of coaches, certainly including Ray Rhodes, you fumble, you sit. And of course, the Bengals took advantage of it. The combination of Boomer Esiason, James Hundon. One score.
Second down and 8. Going a little swing into the right flat. Charlie Garner. Up and out of bounds. He's got the first down, 33-yard line.
Garner is a perfect changeup back to Ricky Waters. A lot smaller, a lot quicker, a little shiftier. They're still trying to totally get him into the offense. They haven't yet. He kind of shares time with Ricky Waters as Waters comes in and Charlie Garner goes out.
And I keep reading that they feel he is more effective as a counterpunch to Waters. And yeah. Charlie would rather, of course, be the featured back.
You know, every great back would like to be the featured back.
Boeing slips as he sets up deep, steps forward. He's going to run for it. Heads for the sideline and tippy toes. May miss the first down by about 6 inches. Sam Shade was there trying to chase him to the sideline. Here's the Eagles offense.
It is rather remarkable that when they're 6th in the league in yards gained, but 24th in scoring. And Ray Rhodes, his explanation of that is that they've had such lousy field position. John Grunden, the offensive coordinator there, their kickoff return has been so horrible that they face 1st and 80 or 85, and their opponents have faced 1st and 60. And you can gain a lot of yards and score no points when you're starting every drive inside your own 20.
Here's the measurement to make it official. Meanwhile, Bobby Hoying, 2 carries, 26 yards rushing. That's a 13-yard average.
He has done absolutely all you could ask of a veteran quarterback, and this again, worth repeating, the kid's 3rd NFL start. By the way, he does have family here. They had to get 13 tickets. They flew in from St. Henry, Ohio, watching.
Is that about 90 miles from Cincinnati? Neighborhood?
Not quite that much. It's just north of Dayton. I'd say 50 miles from Cincinnati. But one thing Hoying has in his favor is Ray Rhodes is squarely in his corner. He loves this kid.
Well, you can see why. Second down, about a half a yard. Ricky Waters may not get it. Rico McDonald, the middle linebacker who missed last week's ball game, shaking off some injuries.
McDonald has had some knee problems, but this is good aggressive defensive line play by Cincinnati. And you can see that Tumulty 53 blows up the lead blocker Turner and allows Ricardo McDonald to make the tackle for no gain whatsoever.
Third down still, about a half yard to go, maybe a little less than that. Waters leads in. He is pulled back. He may not get it.
Depends on the spot.
That's 2 shots for a half a yard.
It's a very generous spot. I do think they got it.
With that spot, I think you're right.
Well, Cincinnati sending on the
receiving
team.
They think it's going to be a punt. Yeah, measure again. Might be a surprise here. Perhaps lobbying for the call.
Sure. Always good to measure. It eliminates all speculation.
But you're right. It was a generous spot.
Oh, no, they didn't make it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lengths short.
Yeah, that's an easy choice for Ray Rhodes. You send out your punt team.
No, you don't want to try it 3 times.
No.
All right, here's how they stopped him.
He kind of runs into his own guy, number 1, but that's good aggressive defensive line play by Cincinnati. John Copeland, 92 on the bottom of the pile. Ray Rhodes, one of the most intense head coaches I think I've ever been around, who also, if you give him 10 minutes, he'll talk to you for an hour and a half about football.
Oh, he loves to. I mean, he loves to visit about football. Greg Myers is the return man. Good hang time, but it doesn't turn over. It'll be down by the Eagles at about the 21-yard line of Cincinnati. Cincinnati leading by 7. Back in a moment.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Visa, the official card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. By Compaq, the most popular computer in the world. And by the Norelco Reflex Action Razor. Anything closer could be too close for comfort.
I was with Bill Bonnell, our producer, yesterday at the Liberty Bell. Paul O'Brien, the park ranger, explained to us that the big crack is the second crack. There's a little hairline crack right there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either till yesterday.
I wondered what you guys did when you went out on Saturday.
That's what we do. We're history buffs. Corey Dillon off of the right side.
How did the first crack get in the Liberty Bell that you said was right here?
They say they think that they took the Liberty Bell on tour of the United States and had all over different cities. And of course, they were ringing it in all these different places. And then over the, it's over the almost 100 years old that you get a crack here and there.
Well, maybe they shouldn't carry it around the country anymore.
They don't. That's why they don't.
Okay, now I understand.
Yes.
Thank you.
All of that yesterday.
I love learning things on a daily basis.
Corey Dillon has the first down. He goes out to the 32-yard line. Jordan with the tackle.
Watch as Corey Dillon gets through the line of scrimmage. He's going to run through the tackle of number 51, William Thomas, Pro Bowl linebacker, right there. That is the one thing that I think is the dominant characteristic of Corey Dillon as a rookie. He breaks a bunch of tackles, and William Thomas is an excellent tackler.
First down, 32-yard line. Room to throw all the time in the world. Great protection, comes to the near side. The pass is complete. Marco Battaglia, tied in for Cincinnati, as a sliding grab.
And Charlie, you made the right observation. Plenty of time. Again, a crossing pattern, and when you have man coverage, you try to run crossing patterns. Battaglia is going to come across here. Watch how much time Boomer has to wait. And then again, a nice throw, and it's hard for man-to-man coverage to keep up with those receivers if there's no pass rush.
Here is the reverse. Darnay Scott down the sideline. Goes to the 44-yard line. That'll pick up the first down.
Probably all it was intended to do. Sometimes you break those for big gains, but
well, when you think of reverse, you think big game.
Yeah, but if you have a very aggressive defense, which Philadelphia possesses, I mean, you know, they try to get up the field. If you can get them running laterally early, and reverses and things like that work and wear the defense out.
Is it something else the defense needs to think about later in the ball game?
Sure, absolutely. Or another play off of that.
Dillon again. Has 5 yards to the 50-yard line. It'll be second down and 5.
You can see his effect with in the last 4 games, the 4.5 yards of rush and the 3 touchdowns, and just the increased number of carries. John Carter was the guy. The only thing that Dillon can't do is be in there on 3rd and long, because definition and recognition of defenses and pass rushers still bothers him a little bit.
He says he's really working on it. Dillon for a yard to the 49-yard line of the Eagles.
Yeah, you can watch a lot of tape of defenses you face. Now, say here, 3rd down, he's going to leave the field. But until you get out there on the field and see a blitz deployed in front of you at full speed, you really don't have much of a chance of catching on.
John Carter, excellent blocker, is in. 3rd down and 4. Boomer to throw. Swings it off the near side. Eric Bieniemy spins his way to the 41-yard line. He picks up the first down where William Thomas can bring him down. 11 yards on the play.
Now, the thing about Boomer Esiason is he catches the running back in full stride. Here's Bieniemy. Releases outside Richard Dent. And Bieniemy catches it right on his hip. Doesn't have to adjust to the throw. And divides 2 tacklers to pick up the first down.
Converting on 3rd down. First down Cincinnati. They lead 14-7. Knocked away.
Mike Mamula almost got his hand on it.
Oh, yes. Nice to talk to him yesterday. He has completely recovered from the concussion last week.
Yeah. Asked him when he felt better. He said, I don't know, a little while later. I said, did you remember anything? No. You all right now? Think so. So, I mean, Mike is fine. He's one of those undersized defensive ends who just has that hypermotor inside. He doesn't mind facing 330-pounders every week.
He had an interesting statement about Boomer Esiason. He said you can't give him any gray areas on defense or he'll find them. And meanwhile, Corey Dillon finds some room to run inside the 35 to the 34-yard line.
Well, Bengals now in control. Remember, this drive started at their own 20. And a nice little cutback here. Decent block job of blocking up front, but Corey Dillon really does most of the work himself. Big kid, almost 225 pounds. Was an absolute mule for the Washington Huskies. They gave it to him over 300 times last year at Washington.
3rd down and 3. He goes to the sidelines. He's rushed for 43 yards thus far in the first down. Boomer shakes another. Boomer is standing in there like the Statue of Liberty. I've never seen anybody like that. I mean, 2 men hit him low and he doesn't shake it off. Pass is incomplete.
See, he's complaining that there was pass interference, but it appears the Bengals are going to go for it on 4th down. Again, you said standing in there, Mamula down at his legs and jumps away from him. Yeah. Playing like he's 25, not 36. And there's the complaint of pass interference.
Good complaint. But they go for it. 4th down and 3. Here is the pitch. Bobbled, fumbled, then recovered by Cincinnati, but it was 4th down. The Eagles will take over.
Charlie,
on downs, but we've got a flag. We've got a flag.
Yeah, I think the penalty is going to be on Cincinnati because they had a wide receiver move prematurely.
The fumble was recovered by Cincinnati, and it goes over to Philadelphia on downs. First down.
We had an official coming in signaling that there was a motion penalty.
Yeah,
a false start.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll sort it out when we get back. John Carter with the fumble, the recovery by Cincinnati, but it was going down. Eagles take over, and we'll sort out what we were talking about when we went away. Hoy comes out throwing, has the pass right on target. It goes to Irving Fryer, and here come the Eagles. McDonald with the tackle. Let's go back a play ago.
Yeah, here's the official standing here, and this is Darnay Scott. When the man goes in motion, he moves. Right there. That's premature. And then if John Carter catches this little pitch, it's a first down pickup, but he was looking upfield too quickly, and the net result is the ball goes over to Philadelphia, and now they got to get some offense going.
And one of the officials came into the huddle, signal going deep into single coverage, and it is incomplete. But one of the officials was coming in signaling a false start. So we figured that they were going to bring it back, but they didn't. That's not a surprise.
Yeah, well, you see the total yards there. A 136 passing by Cincinnati has helped a great deal. But to this point, up 14-7, Cincinnati has really controlled most of this first half.
52 of those yards, of course, on that one long pass play to James Hunden that set up a touchdown. Second down 10. Boying rushes forward. He's got all the room in the world. He's to the 20 and then out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Just established himself as a leading rusher in the ballgame.
Now the Eagles run motion, and he has been the biggest factor on offense for Philadelphia. The Bengals were in man coverage, and at the end of this play, there's a linebacker, Tumulty, the middle linebacker, who was covering the fullback down the field, had his back turned, didn't even know Hoying was coming.
58 yards, 3 carries. Halfway to the century mark. He's the quarterback. Here's Garner, left side.
Oh, what a move.
Nice move around the corner to the 80-yard line.
There's that Garner quickness. Watch what he does to Tito Paul. Just a straight pitch. Good block out front by Kevin Turner, and there he just freezes Tito Paul for a second, and then accelerates around him.
We have an injured player down.
That's the middle linebacker. Tumulty.
We have an injury timeout. 7-11. Time remaining. First half. And here in Philadelphia, the Eagle has landed.
Or is he just taking a timeout?
Tovar replaces Tumulty. Here's Garner, left side, has just a bit of an opening. Works his way inside the 5 to the 4. He'll have the first down. It'll be first down and goal to go. Wilkinson with the tackle.
Now, so far in 1997, you see inside the 20, they've done just fair. 17 touchdowns, 14 field goals, just fair. But the big point is the Bengals defense last week, Jacksonville was inside the 26 times. They allowed them 4 field goals and a touchdown, so they only scored on 5. This is the second time in, and Philadelphia scored the last time they were inside the 20.
Eagles trailing by 7. Garner comes inside behind the left guard and tackle to the 2-yard line, where will be second down and goal to go.
Is it significant that Charlie Garner is in there and not Ricky Waters?
Yes, it is. 2 reasons.
Fumble,
and then he had the 2 shots with a foot to go, and he wasn't able to pick up the first down. I surmise.
Well, you might be right. Garner's about 185. Ricky Waters is a good 215. A good power back on the goal line.
Kevin Turner is the lead back. Fake, rolling right. Pump fake, wants to throw it into the end zone. It is knocked away. I almost had the impression he wanted to bootleg it and run it in if he could, but Cincinnati was there. They were all over the place.
As he rolls, I think he's trying to get the tight end out here. But there's excellent coverage on the tight end. He didn't have many options, and there's linebackers all over the place. Whoa. 57, 56, 50.
He got away with a bad throw, too, didn't he?
Yeah, I do believe he was heading for Jimmy Johnson, the tight end.
Young man does not make many mistakes. Fryer in motion out of the backfield. Sets, throws, back edge of the end zone. It is there. Chad Lewis, rookie free agent, tight end from BYU.
Interesting story, Chad Lewis. He's a Mormon. Went on his Mormon mission to China, majored in Chinese. Kind of came here on a test, you know. Why come here? Detmer suggested they bring the kid in. Chad Lewis has turned out to be a pretty good receiving tight end. Well, that's 2 times inside the 20 for Philadelphia. 2 scores.
This is for the tie. It is good. We are tied 14-14. We have 5:24 left to go. First half.
Back to the score. This is Irving Fryer in motion. Here's Lewis. He runs the out and the quick up, and Hoying sits up and throws the ball perfectly. And nice little move. 35 Sam Shade buys the out, and then at the back of the end zone, there's the tight end for the score.
And this young man has scored. There's Hoying with his touchdown pass. He now has thrown 5 touchdown passes in his NFL career.
Just 1 interception.
Chad Lewis, we mentioned that was his 4th touchdown reception. Well, he has 10 receptions, but that is his 4th touchdown reception in his last 7 catches.
Not a bad percentage.
The money man.
The money man.
Yes. Here's the catch. At the 5-yard line, there ain't the enemy. Ball comes out right to the Eagles. Philadelphia has the ball. This is Michael Zordich who takes it on the hop.
Well, the kickoff coverage for Philadelphia to this point in the season has been atrocious until today. And one of the adjustments that Ray Rhodes has made is he's put a lot of his starters out on the coverage team. And there you see the starting strong safety Zordich come up with the fumble recovery. And now Philadelphia with outstanding field position.
At the 28-yard line of Cincinnati, turnovers are even at 2. One of the things that Ray Rhodes said yesterday with the changes in the National Football League, you're going to have to draft special teams players.
True.
You need them.
Yeah, absolutely correct. There are a lot of teams who now have 2 or 3 guys who are just special teams specialists.
Here comes an outside blitz, has to get rid of it. It is incomplete. Sam Shade was the blitzer, and he was unimpeded, if that's the correct word.
Yeah.
There was nobody there to impede him at all.
Comes from about 25 yards away, and I'm surprised there's not intentional grounding there.
It should have been. Officials missed another one. That is set 2 that we are aware of.
Yeah, he was not outside the tackles and just threw the ball away.
2nd down and 10. May have been 3 they missed. There's a questionable non-pass interference call. Here's Ricky Waters back in the ball game. James Francis tried to strip it. He could not. We go to New York for an update.
All right, Charlie, at Jacksonville, Mark Brunell beginning to heat up for the Jaguars. This is a 44-yard strike to Jimmy Smith to set up a Natron Means 4-yard touchdown. Jacksonville has added a field goal and now trail the Ravens 14-13 as they approach halftime, Charlie.
They have a shootout going there just like we have here. Here we're tied at 14 with 4.5 minutes left to go in the first half. A lot of good ball games going on all across the NFL this Sunday afternoon. Here's Waters in motion going to the outside. He comes back, knocked down. He wanted to come back going into the right flat. It is incomplete. So it will be 2nd down and 10.
Eric Bieniemy with the fumble on that kickoff return has given Philadelphia outstanding field position. You can see Waters' contribution this year dropped dramatically as far as touchdowns, but that's true of the entire team, not just Ricky Waters. They are scoring a whole lot less. And that's another reason why Hoying is now at quarterback.
Second down and 10. Here's the pitch to Waters. He is cut down after 3 yards on the play. Another update in the NFL. Kansas City leading the 49ers 21-3. Marcus Allen, a 3-yard touchdown run. Rich Gannon has a couple of touchdown passes in that one.
Yeah, Charlie, a week after a team clinches a division title,
good time to play them?
Yeah, they don't play well, and that's the case with Kansas City and San Francisco.
Meanwhile, Kansas City trying to stay. They are game behind Denver. They need to stay there. Denver plays later on today in San Diego. Eagles 4 of 6 on third down conversion. Third down and 7. Hoying steps forward, throws, passes complete into the end zone for the touchdown. Tight end Jimmy Johnson. He likes his tight ends, doesn't he?
Yeah. I hope to tell you he likes his tight ends. 2 touchdowns, both the tight ends. And the fumble by Eric Bieniemy on the kickoff return.
First touchdown of the year.
You know, the thing I like again about Bobby Hoying, he just stands in there with great poise and looks around as to where the defense is deployed, finds the right guy.
The Eagles capitalizing on the turnover, and they move in front by a score of 21-14.
Here's Johnson, the tight end. The motion by the fullback kind of shifts the defense this way, but he just goes up and the coverage is dropped. He is standing right there in the middle. And at 260 pounds, he drags the safety into the end zone. There he is right there. So you can see Greg Myers just lets him go. And then Bo Orlando standing back in the end zone can't make the tackle in the field of play. And Hoying again, the right choice. Patience to wait for the guy to come open.
He has 9 completions, 3 of them for touchdowns. The future is now for the quarterback of the Eagles.
That always works.
I was just thinking, his fiance watching the ball game, he's going to have Christmas silver that he didn't even know that he needed. To go with his Christmas tree.
Good point. Bobby Hoying at Ohio State, he threw to Ricky Dudley, he threw to Galloway, handed off to Eddie George. I mean, what a cast of players around him. He kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit because all the rest of them were Heisman Trophy winners or first-round draft choices. But Philadelphia believes they got a real steal with this kid at quarterback.
Here is Bieniemy, fumble the last one. Zordich recovered it on the hop, turned it into 7 points. He is hit across the 30, down around the 32 or the 33-yard line. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations, game 2 of our doubleheader. Most of you to see Dan Marino and the Dolphins. They'll be facing Jeff George and the Raiders. That's going to be an interesting ball game because you never know which Raider ball club is going to show up. Others of you to see the Steelers take on the Cardinals. Check your local listings, or even better, just stay tuned and you will find out after our game is over. Game 2 of our doubleheader. That's coming up next on most of these stations here on NBC. Now from the 33-yard line, Corey Dillon on the right side. He goes to the 35. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
The QB comparison, yards favor Boomer, touchdowns favor Hoying, but both having excellent first halves.
Yes. The one thing different from last week, though, the Bengals offensively not moving at the pace that they moved at last week. I missed that. I like that pace that Boomer's got. He's throwing this one away.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you one of the reasons why they can't go at that pace.
All right.
One, this Philadelphia Eagle defense is, in my opinion, a better defense than Jacksonville. 2, you got to make sure these guys up front can identify who is coming and again pressure a guy free on Boomer Esiason Thomas just drives him into the ground. There's Emmett Thomas, the defensive coordinator, and a brilliant defensive coordinator. So the tempo is going to be slower today so that the offensive lineman can identify who, in fact, the blitzers might be.
3rd down and 8.
Blitz again. Oh,
Now
look at this.
Bieniemy has the 1st down. Interesting, there's something going on offensively in the left flat, because earlier Bieniemy, if he had held on to the ball, could have had a 1st down, as you mentioned earlier, and here he does. There's nobody out there. Look at that.
Well, one of the reasons may be is because you put more pressure on the side of the quarterback's arm. Boomer Esiason, left-handed, you're going to try to put people in his face, so you put more people on the left side than the right side.
Dillon on the right side, cuts back, bounces off of an Eagle. Back-to-back 1st downs on the last 2 plays. Michael Zordich with the tackle.
It is absolutely remarkable how much Boomer Esiason has elevated the play of this offense.
Eagle player is down at the 49-yard line.
A lot of credit to Boomer Esiason, of course, last week with the start, but also Kevin Sargent and Corey Dillon now a threat to run the football. You can't just stack your defense to stop the receptions, and it's made the Cincinnati offense a much more complete offense.
We believe it is Greg Jefferson who is the injured player. He is being administered to. The report on Tumulty. They're x-raying his left ankle. Return is unknown at this point. Clock is stopped now with 2:18. That is the time remaining in the 1st half. The Eagles out in front of Cincinnati by a score of 21-14. '79. Yes, it is Greg Jefferson. 3rd year out of Central Florida. Starting defensive left end for the Eagles.
Bruce Kozlik told us yesterday that his 1st year of coaching for San Francisco under Bill Walsh was Ray Rhodes' last year as a player.
Earlier we talked about the NFC playoff picture. Here's the AFC playoff picture. And let me put a little check mark by Kansas City.
I'd be more than happy to.
If you would, please.
Yeah, how's that?
Kansas City now leads San Francisco 28-3.
Nice.
Rich Gannon 3 touchdown passes.
Wow.
Whoa.
You see the division leaders. The Jets are the most shocking team. Denver again at 10-2 and owns the AFC West, although Kansas City closely on their heels. Jefferson up walking off.
That's a good sign.
My estimation is things are a little tighter in the AFC than they are in the NFC.
Yes.
You know?
I have that same feeling. 38-yard line of the Eagles. 1st down, Cincinnati. Boomer goes deep down the sideline, and it is incomplete. Darnay Scott, the intended receiver. Bruce Casas said he told Darnay, now with Carl Pickens out with a grade 2 groin pull, you're number 1. You can't hide. It's your responsibility. Go out and do it.
And this is the matchup that Ray Rhodes and his defense wants. Troy Vincent on their best receiver, whoever they happen to be. Vincent, an excellent man-on-man coverage guy, and he was stride for stride with Darnay Scott, who we discovered yesterday needs glasses in contact, but has not adjusted to the contact yet. That would account for all the balls he's dropped.
John Carter on the draw. Just back to the line of scrimmage. It will be 3rd down and 10. The 2-minute warning to both benches. We'll be back to the bet in a moment. Philadelphia leading by 7, 21-14. Coming up at halftime, the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Greg Gumbel, Chris Collinsworth, Sam Weiss, Joe Gibbs will bring all the scores and highlights. Plus, Miami head coach Jimmy Johnson talks about his team's showdown with the Raiders. That's all coming up at halftime. Gunner, of course, Boomer's son, the guest of Jeff Lurie and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this booth is open, but they checked with the cystic fibrosis people here. Said that's okay because they have heaters in the booth to control the temperature, so it's okay in there.
Yeah, temperature extremes really bother Gunner and cystic fibrosis. In fact, when you sit down and talk to Boomer Esiason about Gunner, you talk to Dr. Boomer Esiason for the first 12-15 minutes, and then football player Jeff Lurie, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, he set up the whole deal for Gunner and Cheryl to be there undercover and be protected.
Third down and 10. Eagles showing blitz package. Boomer trying to outweight them.
Fumble. Oh, no.
Ruled it as an incomplete pass, that the arm was going forward or the wrist was in a passing motion.
That's very fortunate.
Whoa.
He was hammered from behind, and it looked to me like the ball was knocked out of his hand. Pressure's going to come from up on the other side.
Watch his wrist. He had his start. Oh, that's right on the edge. Could go either way on
it. It was Red Hall, 97, who hit Boomer right between the shoulder blades.
You're right with the defensive fronts of the Eagles. They show you everything.
Everything.
You've got to sit there a long time to figure it out.
Sometimes it looks like they're bringing 15 guys.
Meanwhile, Lee Johnson is maybe they not.
And they still got 4 in coverage.
Catch and then fumble and then pick up. And all bets are off when you fumble a fair catch. That was Freddie Solomon, the 14-yard line. 26 yards on the kick. The report on Greg Jefferson, he has a lower back sprain, questionable if he can return.
That's the defensive end of the Philadelphia Eagles.
It came out just a moment ago, and we'll have the ticker going by in a moment to update you on the scores. Here it is. Buffalo leading the Jets by 7. Jets have really surprised everybody this year. New England leading Indianapolis has surprised them too.
Yes.
And Kansas City just destroying San Francisco. Kansas City will host Oakland next week. We'll be there for that one. Jacksonville trailing Baltimore by 1. St. Louis and Washington are tied at 10. That's a bit of a surprise.
That helps Philadelphia.
New Orleans in front of Carolina. Ricky Waters. Can Mike Ditka lead the Saints to another victory today?
Of course he can.
All right.
If not, he'll cry again.
Or threaten to quit. Again. Hurry up offense. So he goes back underneath the coverage. Here's Ricky Waters. Turns back to just shy of the 30-yard line.
This is another part of the learning experience of Bobby Hoying, how he handles this situation at the end of the half here, Charlie.
Sets up, throws, pass again, complete underneath the coverage. This is Irving Fryer, has the first down. Out near the 45-yard line. Timeout now is called by the Eagles. That stops the clock with 59 seconds. That's a lot of time remaining.
Every one of these,
one timeout left.
Every one of these little situations is just part of the learning curve for a young quarterback. No matter what he did in college, you know, they don't have the 2-minute warning in college, and a lot of people forget that when quarterbacks come to the NFL, you have to learn how to function in the 2-minute warning. And so far, Hoying has played flawlessly. Actually, in this being his third start, he's yet to really make a mistake.
And his coach, Ray Rhodes, likes a lot of classroom time. Where does that come from?
That comes from Bill Walsh. In fact, Ray Rhodes told me yesterday, this is the first I've ever heard this. His first year with the 49ers as a player, the first week of the season, he went out and he bought one of those 16-millimeter projectors so he could take it home and watch his own film. And I said, Ray, you're the only player I've ever heard who bought one of those projectors. You know, but he requires an awful lot of tape time for his players.
In full stride, pass is complete to Irving Fryer. Here come the Eagles.
Boy, that is
37, 23 yards, 34-yard line, Cincinnati.
Charlie, that was one of those beautiful, deep, long stride slants that Irving Fryer's run his entire career.
Going again. Looks over the middle. In stride. Mark Say. They found a home in the middle of the defense of Cincinnati. 12-yard line. First down, 19 yards on the play. I'd say the young quarterback has figured out the hurry-up 2-minute offense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoa. A correction on the Kansas City, not on the score, but on one of the touchdowns. Rich Gannon has 2 touchdown passes. One of the touchdown passes was from Marcus Allen.
Yeah, to Popson, I noticed, the former 49ers. Dick LeBeau on the sideline. And Bruce Coslett on his right shoulder listening to the call. Behind him is Tim Crumry, the defensive tackle. If we go back and look at the 2 big receptions, here's Fryer, deep slant. And it's a zone. And they just take advantage of it. That's the first catch. And then the next one, you're going to see the receiver come right up the middle of the zone. It's a double zone. Corners up, safeties out. Hoying read both of those defenses perfectly. Threw it to the right guy. Both receivers made easy catches for big completions.
Quick reminder, stay with us at halftime. The Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. The gang in New York City will be updating everything that is going on today. A very exciting Sunday here in the NFL. Eagles out of timeouts. Blitz is coming, has to get rid of it. Pass is complete to Kevin Turner. And he is brought down by Andre Collins.
And that was a huge play by Andre Collins. There were 2 offensive linemen out there in front of him, and he was still able to split them and make the tackle. This is an outstanding play. They've got the everything going this way. Watch 55 right there. Fights through the center and the left guard to make the tackle. And if he doesn't make the tackle, I'm telling you, Turner can moonwalk into the end zone.
We had a miscount on the timeouts. One was an injury timeout not charged to the Eagles. They had one more timeout remaining. They take it here. The ball at the 15-yard line with 16 seconds. Chris Bonio, the field goal kicker. You saw a quick shot of him, number 18 on the sideline. This is second down, 16 seconds.
Blitz again.
That's to throw to the end zone. It is incomplete. 11 seconds. Time for one more shot into the end zone.
It looked to me like Corey Sawyer, number 23, has a hold of Irving Fryer's jersey. Let's see what happens here. He breaks away. Absolutely has a hold of his jersey.
Well, they haven't called that all day, so why call it now?
Yeah, the throw was through the end zone, but Corey Sawyer got away with one there.
They're down. Out of timeouts, they'll have to go to the end zone again. Has a man open, but he threw it behind him. He was out of time. He had to get rid of it.
Yeah, well, it also appeared that Turner, the fullback, was running the out and up. And Bobby Hoying threw it just a little too quickly.
He threw the out and forgot the up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there's field goal attempt.
That's
by,
still dangerous, though, isn't it? Not to throw it into the end zone with no timeouts. Well, if you catch it and make the tackle in the field of play, time can run out on it.
Yeah, that's true. But this field goal attempt, if it goes in, it gives Philadelphia 24 points. And that seems to be their magic number.
It is. You're right. This is a 33-yard field goal attempt. There's no question about it. Chris Bonio from 33 yards away, and in the first half, the Eagles have scored 24 points. (24-14). The only team in the NFL not to score more than 24 points in the game. Are they maxed out with 2 seconds to go?
Well, the way they play this first half, I don't think so.
I don't either.
I think they've got other opportunities for scoring.
Be sure to stay with us at halftime for the Domino's Pizza NFL halftime report. We'll go back to our studio in New York, and there's a group photo. They will be updating everything that is going on, including Marcus Allen's touchdown pass in the Kansas City 49ers game.
High school quarterback in San Diego. Not that unusual to see Marcus Allen throw the football.
So we have 2 seconds left to go in the first half. Eagles up 24-14 over Cincinnati. The enemy stops it and then he picks it up. The 35 and still going near the 40-yard line. But meanwhile, time has expired. Brian Dawkins makes the tackle for the Eagles. They get a nice ovation as they lead 24-14. We'll be sending you to our studio in New York, but first these words from your local station. Here at halftime, the Eagles leading Cincinnati by a score of 24-14. I'm Charlie Jones with Bob Trumpy. The first half, the continuing NFL young saga, Bobby Hoying. He really is impressive, the quarterback for the Eagles.
Yeah, he's also the Eagles' leading rusher. They've rushed for 129 yards, and on 3 carries, he has 59 of it. And he's yet to make a mistake. The thing I like most about Bobby Hoying, he has completions to 8 different receivers in the first half. Now, that is an absolute caricature of a properly run West Coast offense. You can't defense anybody when the offense is functioning because you throw it to everybody.
And everybody loves it because they're all involved.
Yeah, absolutely. And
now, what can Boomer do? Here's a comparison of what can Boomer do to get Cincinnati back.
Well, they're to the point now where they can't make a mistake. Cincinnati has to play perfect football in this second half. Obviously, Cincinnati does not have the magic today that they had against Jacksonville last week. So you're going to see, I think, the Bengals taking a few more chances with a little more up-tempo stuff, but they can't turn the ball over. But look, the story of the first half is that young man right there, number 7 from St. Henry, Ohio, Bobby Hoying, making just his 3rd start, looking like he's been there, running that offense for the last 10 years.
He really does.
Absolutely.
And when we talked to him yesterday, he had that quiet confidence that you like in a quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
You see, there's so few that have that.
Yeah, absolutely. And for a 3rd-string quarterback,
3 weeks ago, you're right.
He's only gotten the majority of the snaps the last 2 weeks.
Gary Bieniemy again on the return after his fumble. I think they are kicking it to him, and now they dump him, Darian Connor, after an 11-yard return. Now let's check out the Coors Light halftime stats.
Again, this number just jumps out at me. That looks like a lot of yards, but most of it is by Bobby Hoying. The 2 turnovers really hasn't cost Philadelphia much problem, but 276 in total yards, time of possession in favor of Philadelphia.
Passing offense looking very equal from a number standpoint, but remember, for Cincinnati, 52 yards of that came on that one play to James Hunden. Here's Corey Dillon on the first carry. Now let's go back to the possessions of the Bengals in the first half.
It started decently, but then the fumble, that hurt big time, and then also had the fumble on the kickoff return, so they gave Philadelphia 2 extra chances in that half, and Philadelphia ran 44 plays in the first half, Charlie. That's an awful lot of plays in any one half.
Second down, blitz is picked up, Boomer stands in, has all the time in the world, then he throws it, bounces it off a helmet, but the flag is flying, but he had all the time in the world to get rid of it. That's really a coverage, excellent coverage by the Eagles.
What's the referee going to call here? Being thrown to the ground?
Let's see.
The pass was incomplete. There was no foul on the play. It hit a defensive man before an offensive player.
Okay.
Brings up 3rd down.
Okay.
They are not having a very good afternoon, are they?
Well, my concern was that he was going to be, somebody was going to be flagged for being a little too aggressive there on Boomer Esiason, but the ball was tipped, no flag picked up, and the Bengals in danger here of going 3 downs and out.
3rd down 7.
And look at all those defensive guys milling around out there.
It is on the ricochet, intercepted. William Thomas with the ball. The Eagles in great field position.
Bounced right through the hands of Kajana Carter. You're going to see Carter run the little circle route. Boomer Boomer waits for him, right through his hands. Should have been caught. An easy catch. Another turnover for the Cincinnati Bengals, and Boomer saying, I can hand it to you.
That is their third turnover of the day. Now, West Coast offense. You go right for the end zone here?
No, you keep moving the chains. Just establish control of the second half.
Ricky Waters, let's look at the possessions of the Eagles in the first half.
Look at the way they ended the half. 17 points in their last 3 possessions of the first half. And this is a game of momentum, and the Eagles in the first half with momentum get an interception to start the second half. Momentum continues for the Eagles.
And the third straight week that they have started the second half with an interception.
That generally helps, Charlie. You know that?
Second down, 7. Ricky Waters. Third down and 2. He picks up about 5.
This is also another thing that I really like that Philadelphia is doing here. If you look at the offensive linemen, they're not stepping down the field. They're going this way. They're trying to spread the defense out and then give Ricky Waters the chance to choose a spot. See the way they kind of move out of the way? Fan blocking, nice double team. It's not for a lot, but it doesn't have to be for a lot.
Third down and 2. Blitz is coming, picked up. Pass is low but caught. Nice reception. Michael Timpson, who has a touchdown reception in the ball game.
Now that
started the scoring for the Eagles. Nice catch.
Now this is another great job by Bobby Hoying, recognizing the blitzer's coming. He knows where the hot receiver is. He doesn't throw it great, but you don't have to throw it great. If you make the completion, you make the defense defend that receiver, and you pick up the first down.
For those that don't know, explain what a hot receiver is.
Now, the hot receiver is the guy who was released and has no blitz responsibility, and if there is blitz, turn your head around quick, you're getting the ball. You're my only outlet. Pay attention.
First down, Waters. Nice sidestep. He goes to the 11-yard line. It'll be second down and 5.
Now Boomer Esiason recognizing that he's running out of chances here. On the road, this is a Philadelphia team that plays very, very well in Philadelphia under Ray Rhodes. 16-6 here at the vet under Ray Rhodes. A record that Ray Rhodes is particularly proud of.
And like you said, Eagles would take their time on this drive that started at the Bengal 30-yard line on the turnover. This is the 5th play of the drive. Here's Waters, cuts back inside. He'll be stopped around the line of scrimmage. May go to the 10-yard line. It'll be third down, 4 or 5 to go for the first down. Of course, well within field goal range for Chris Bonial, who has 99 successful field goals. And if and when he makes his next one, that qualifies him for the most accurate list in the NFL.
So he'll probably take over as the most accurate.
He goes right to the top.
That thing changes every Thursday. You know that? Every Thursday.
Right, it does. Well, it takes till Thursday to figure it out. Third down, 4. Point, good protection, throws, pass is complete. Freddie Solomon, a nice defensive recognition. They'll come up a couple of yards shy of the first down.
Now you're up 24-14. Kick the field goal. Not a difficult choice for Ray Rhodes to make. He'll take any points off a turnover, and now 4 straight drives for Philadelphia. This one courtesy of the fumble by the ball that bounces off the shoulder pads of Kajana Carter. The Eagles, my point is, going to come up with points. Last 3 in the first half.
26-yard field goal attempt. Last 4 times they've had the ball, including this one. That is good. And then you're now looking from an accuracy standpoint, the #1 kicker in the National Football League.
Thank you very much, Charlie.
27-14. Back in a moment.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Honda, vehicles designed to help simplify your life. By Fidelity Investments, where 12 million investors put their trust. By Texaco, a world of energy. And by Old Spice, cool, crisp, clean. It's all in how you use it.
Well, the Eagle now is very frisky here in the second half with the field goal, 27 points. Now, that's the most points the Eagles have scored in any game this year. Here is the kickoff. The enemy from the 4-yard line to the 15 and brought down around the 19-yard line. Randy Kinder makes the tackle. There's a flag down, 15 yards on the return. Eagle special teams have not been performing that well this year, but they certainly are today. This has been one of the emphasis of Ray Rhodes this week.
Now the flag is going to be on Cincinnati, and when you say not been performing very well, they've been miserable.
During the return, holding by the receiving team, number 42. After this use of the goal, first down.
That's on Lawrence Wright. We'll step aside. We'll be back in a moment. 27-14. That's the cap of Gunnar Esiason. Things aren't going that well for Dad right now. Tell you something that is going well. Boomer's Heroes, thick and chunky salsa, and also barbecue sauce. This is just on the market. The barbecue sauce is nationally distributed. The salsa is now coming out, and 10% of all of the sales, 10% of the sales will go to the Boomer Esiason Foundation for Cystic Fibrosis.
Boomer does get involved.
He does. He really does. Now he needs to get the rest of the ball club involved in this drive.
Let's again.
Pulls it down. Runs, throws, passes complete. He goes to Corey Dillon. Tony Vincent was there for the Eagles as we go to New York.
All right, Charlie, there's only one team in the AFC that's been eliminated from the postseason. That's the Colts, but don't tell it to the Patriots. Jim Harbaugh, 18 yards to Aaron Bailey, and with the extra point, the Colts creep to within a field goal. It's 13-10 New England in the third, Charlie.
As we come back, this is David Dunn. It was a first down at the 21-yard line.
I thought David Dunn would be a bigger factor in this game.
Well, he's bothered a bit by a groin injury, but I was of the same, I thought that would happen.
Yeah, David Dunn is 6'3", almost 215, maybe 18 pounds, and against a bump and run coverage, you'd think he'd see a guy who get an awful lot of attention today from Boomer Esiason, but maybe that groin muscle is bothering him. Pulled it last week against Jacksonville.
Second down and 3. Breaks clean across the 50, still going to the 40, 35-yard line. Corey Dillon. Brian Dawkins with the tackle.
Charlie, I counted 4 tackles broken.
Yes. They said he emerged 4 games ago. The emergence continued.
There's one he breaks. It's not going to be 4. There's 2, 3, what? 3, and then the 4th guy brings him down.
37 yards.
99 yards today, and most of them have been very, very tough yards for Corey Dillon.
First down. Eric Bieniemy to the 32-yard line.
Charlie, with the turnovers that the Bengals have had, 3, and the points off turnovers for Philadelphia, which turns out to be 10, the Bengals are still in this game at 27-14. But they are in a situation where they cannot make a mistake. There's just no margin for error now, down by 13 with 8:11 to go in the third quarter. They need a lot of big plays with people like Corey Dillon and others.
Almost needing points on every drive. Second down, 7. This is a screen. Boomer being chased by the blitz. It is incomplete, which is fortunate from Cincinnati. Now that'll be a flag. Should go against the Eagles.
That's going to be on Thomas if it's on the Eagles.
He got in his face with his hand. May have been retaliation, but that's the one that always gets caught. Never fails.
He is, in fact, their best defensive player. Ram gets up and comments, well, that's just foolish. Into the play. You stop the play for a loss.
After the pass was incomplete, it was a personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense, number 51. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I thought you were going to say stupid was the word. I thought for a moment that was the word.
Well, how about capital letters, stupid?
Yeah.
I mean, that is a Pro Bowl linebacker. Ray Rhodes is an intense coach, but he generally has his players play very, very smart. That's one of the dumbest things I've seen today.
17-yard line, first down, Cincinnati. Philadelphia up 27-14. John Carter, the remaining back. Play action fake, comes back to this side. Pass is complete to the 1-yard line to Tony McGee.
Nice call, Ken Anderson. Half roll by Boomer Esiason. He's going to come out here, and the tight end releases, almost falls to the ground, and then releases. But a good saving tackle by Zordich. And first and goal for the Bengals. That was an awful nice call, especially with an aggressive defense.
There's a tackle eligible on this play. Boomer misses on the handoff, juggled it for a moment, then he just spun around and fell down. Mamuda was there to cover.
He was trying to get it to Milne, the fullback, number 44. I could not see plainly what happened, but he really didn't have a hold of the football. See how close Milne is? Boomer couldn't quite turn around quick enough, but luckily the ball bounces back to him, and the Bengals maintain possession.
Bengals with 15 rushing touchdowns this season, 4th most in the NFL.
Yeah, this has generally been John Carter on just an absolute sprint to the sideline. Here it is.
There it is, the sprint to the sideline. Mill leads the way, and he makes it. Carter's 7th touchdown of the year, his first of the ball game. The Bengals start to creep back.
And Charlie, I bet he scored 6 times on that play alone. Now, one thing about Carter, no one can question his speed to the outside. Any blocking up front. And Milne does a decent job here. He can't quite get through the defensive back, but that is just blazing speed to the cone in the corner of the end zone for the score.
Fell free to attempt the extra point. It is good. Cincinnati now has scored 21 points. They trail by 6. Back with the kickoff. Key to that 90-yard touchdown drive, Corey Dillon, 38 yards on one play. He now has 15 carries for 99 yards in the ballgame.
Yeah, he had 88 yards rushing last week against Jacksonville, was a huge key.
Deuce Staley on the return. Slides by a couple of defenders, cuts to the near side. Nice return. He's had an excellent day. Corey Sawyer with the tackle. The NFL season extends to the World Wide Web on NFL.com, the league's official website. Visit NFL.com for all the scores and stats, including a complete roundup of this weekend's scores and actions. Plus, chat live with some of the NFL's biggest stars is all at NFL.com.
Another one of those growing moments for Bobby Hoeing now. An answering drive by Cincinnati. And he continued now to lead the Eagles in the manner in which he's done to this point in the game.
He starts from his own 29-yard line, leading by 6. Good protection, stands in. He's going to rush for a yard or two to add to his total as we go to New York.
All right, Charlie, at Buffalo, the New York Jets hit hard by injuries today, but still have enough here. Neil O'Donnell from 29 yards out to a streaking Keyshawn Johnson. It's a 10-10 tie, the Jets and the Buffalo Bills. Keyshawn comes up limping, but he's back in the game. They're in the 3rd quarter, Charlie.
Here come the Jets. Isn't that an amazing turnaround?
Absolutely it is. Parcells can do
The
that.
giant tuna at it again. He is unbelievable. Brent Ashby said, does the coach make a difference? I said, look at the Jets. Nice pass, right on target, great touch. Pulled in by Michael Timpson with a defender hanging all over.
And again, Hoeing with a perfect throw. You throw it into the body of the receiver, so it's difficult for the defensive back to reach around the receiver to make it. Good patience. They're right there on the money between the 8 and the 3. And on possession downs, when you need a completion, that's exactly the way you teach them to throw it.
And Tito Ball was right there for Cincinnati, but couldn't do anything about it at the 45-yard line. First down. Back to the ground. Ricky Waters. One of the things the Eagles have talked to us about is that they've not had this year very good field position to start drives. On their kickoff returns in this ball game, they have had good field position.
And it makes a great deal of difference, too. The offensive coordinator can go to 100% of his offense when you're outside the 20. And John Gruden's been able to do that. You can spread the field around. You don't have to worry about a pass in the flat return for a touchdown. Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
Deuce Staley, their kickoff return man, has 99 yards in return. Down the sideline, the fullback Kevin Turner. Number 3 receiver in the Eagle offense, Greg Myers, with the stop. First down.
The fullback is just in motion, but I think this is Turner's first catch of the day. I mean, he just releases that on the flat. He ends up being 15 yards. It's another aspect of the West Coast style offense that, look, you don't cover him, we're going to throw to him. We're going to look everywhere.
First down, 37-yard line. Eagles coming with an answering drive. Here's Garner to the corner. He'll get there in a hurry. Out of bounds around the 32-yard line.
Today the offense is working. I mean, it is absolutely just working. We've seen a whole bunch of different stuff. There's the man in charge, John Gruden. Learned his offense from Mike Holmgren at Green Bay. A very young offensive coordinator, but he has called a beautiful game today.
Ricky Waters is now the remaining back. Pass is low, but it's a sliding grab. Michael Timpson.
There's Dick LeBeau on the sideline, and when the offense starts functioning like this, it is so difficult to make the next defensive call. Good setup, good fundamentals. It's low, but Timpson does make the catch. Charlie, I'm telling you, Bobby Hoying told us that Ray Rhodes told him at the beginning of the season he was going to get his chance, so he really paid attention in every meeting. And today, it certainly showed. I mean, he has full command of this offense.
First down, 24-yard line. Flag is down. Garner under a full head of steam. They kick the flag forward to the 17-yard line, holding against the Eagles. The reason they move the flag forward is from the spot of the foul. The only thing to stop the Eagles are the Eagles.
Holding by the offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
From Jerry Kraft.
First down.
Playing guard for the first time in his career. Came over from Buffalo. He was a tackle up there at about 365 pounds. He's got himself down to 330. A mere shadow of his former self.
I think before it was a huge shadow. Now it's a very large shadow.
Yeah, I guess on that kind of body, when you lose 30 pounds, it's probably wear the same size clothes. It doesn't make that much difference.
Nobody noticed. They don't look good. Well, you look the same. Sure. Checking the ticker scores going by. 28-9. San Francisco now has had only 3 field goals. Am I right? Kansas City has not allowed a touchdown in the second half of their last 5 or 6 balls.
I think you're right. It was something like that I read this morning.
Yeah, I did too.
I think you're accurate.
And they have Oakland next week. That'll be a good ball game.
Look, you see Bobby Hoying. He's lobbying to the sideline now. Coach, call this play. He's got a hand signal over to the sideline. Taking a little more command each time the Eagles get the ball.
That's what you want, right?
Absolutely, that's what you want. You want a leader out there. Stick with me, fellas. I know what's coming.
Second down, 13. Offensively, they play like they believe in it, don't they? Here's Waters to the sideline. Ashley Ambrose and McDonald both there.
The dime package comes in for Cincinnati.
Third down and 9 at the 23. Well within field goal range, of course, for Chris Bonial, who is 2 for 2 now with 100 successful field goals. Eagles at least to answer. Nice touch into the end zone. Is it caught? They have it to see.
Oh no!
I think he may have been ridden out of it.
Oh, I think he caught it.
They're going to ask for help on this one. Kevin Turner. Kevin Turner, a brand new father with a great catch. Well, they're talking about it. We'll check it out in slow motion.
Again, this is an awful nice throw by Hoying. It's Sam Shea at 35 inside. That's a catch.
That's a catch.
That's a catch.
That's a catch over the back possession. Let's look at it again. And this time, just look at the feet.
What they're trying to determine is whether or not he had control of the football here.
One foot down, foot down, has control. Oh yeah, all the way.
All the way.
We need instant replay.
But that's almost impossible for an official to make the right call there.
On that side, particularly on that side, because he was reaching back over he had his body and the player's body in front of him.
I agree with you, though.
You got 7 officials out there. Somebody's got to see it.
Your comment that we need instant replay is exactly for plays like that.
Yeah.
You can make it as complicated as possible, but the simple truth is there is a place for instant replay in the NFL.
That's right. And this is one of the ideal plays.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yep.
The player caught the pass and was forced out of bounds, so the result is a touchdown.
Well, the interpretation was wrong, but the end result was correct. 23-yard touchdown play.
That's one of the best touchdown catches I think I've ever seen.
And the reason I say he wasn't forced out, he had possession, both feet in bounds. The rest of it was immaterial.
Turner's concentration on this football is perfect. And if the defender turns around at all and looks, both feet are down when he catches it. That is an outstanding catch. And I believe it's now 5 straight times that Philadelphia has scored. The last 5 times they have touched the ball or had the ball, they have scored.
3 times into the first half, first 2 into this half.
That's right. Listen to him chanting.
He's good.
Hear him chanting, Bobby.
Flag down. Nolan Reese is the son of Kevin Turner. Friday night, just in time to celebrate Dad's touchdown. Keep this tape. You can show him later. All right. Way to go, Dad. .144 to go in the third. Kevin Turner, number 3 receiver for the Eagles, the fullback, and you now know why they want to go to him when he makes those kind of catches.
And the fullback in the West Coast style offense is huge, absolutely huge. Tom Rathman made a living catching those little swing passes and also the out and ups in the end zone. That's one of the best I've ever seen.
What about the touch of Bobby Hoying, the quarterback? His 3rd NFL start? Are you sure? You sure he hasn't been here before?
Yeah. He's played flawlessly.
Eric Bieniemy, he's at a workout. Kickoff return. Darian Connor gets him. Bengals face a long field again. Welcome back to the Vet in Philadelphia. The chant has been up.
That's the good news. The bad news is in Philadelphia, when that chant stops, you are in deep trouble.
Oh, you're in Youngstown.
Philadelphia can turn on you in a weekend.
And the Eagles, no question about it, they are back in the hunt. They do need some help. Ray Rhodes said, Coach Watch your speak. One game at a time.
Yep.
Now let's see Bruce Constant, head coach of the Bengals. They need now to answer again. They went down and scored. The Eagles answered. They have to answer now. The Eagles. Boomer will start in with the 17-yard line. Corey Dillon slips as he makes his cut. We go to New York for an update.
All right, Charlie, in New England, the Patriots back on top of the Colts by 10. Watch Drew Bledsoe with a perfect pass, 18 yards to Troy Brown with the extra point. The Patriots 20, the Colts 10, fourth quarter. Charlie?
Thank you. I tell you, the last 3 weeks, well, the last 4 included, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fun.
A lot of football left.
Yes. Second down and 9. Boomer stands in, throws, waits on target. Pass is complete. He goes to Darnay Scott. Scott at the 29-yard line. That's a gain of 10. It'll be a first down.
Crossing pattern. Troy Vincent all over him. That's an excellent job by Darnay Scott. We have a Philadelphia Eagle on the ground, but that's an outstanding job of Darnay Scott, really fighting through all of that pressure and coming across the field to make the reception.
What's changed, Joe?
An update on Corey Dillon. He now has rushed for 101 yards in the ball game. 16 carries as the downed Eagle is being administered to. We have 44 seconds. That is the time remaining in the third quarter. And let's check out the scores of other games at Jets and Buffalo. It's a seesaw battle. We can use all the cliches today, mainly because they fit. For the update, you saw a moment ago, New England taking the lead over Indianapolis by 10. Kansas City 35-9 in the fourth quarter over the 49ers. And the 49ers have played a soft schedule. Yeah, everybody has talked about that. They've got a couple of tough games remaining. Jacksonville out in front of Baltimore 26-14. Troy Vincent, who is up. St. Louis leading Washington.
That helps Philadelphia.
It does. It hurts the Redskins, of course. New Orleans by 3 now over Carolina. Mike Dick is French Quarter magic that he's trying to perform down there.
Tears
and an ongoing soap opera.
Yeah. Troy Vincent on the sideline. Willie Clark will replace him.
Will they go after that spot?
Boomer is one to look at a new number out there. Yeah.
Because he is aware.
Constantly aware. Sometimes of too much.
Blitz is coming. He goes deep, and it is incomplete. Was that a delayed corner blitz? Because somebody was really firing through on him. He was going to hunt and incomplete.
Well, they blitzed a corner, and it takes you a while to get there. But that is an excellent call by Emmett Thomas, the defensive coordinator of Philadelphia. You know, they make a big play. We're going to send the blitz.
Yeah, that was Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, he came from about, there's Emmett right there, former defensive back for the Kansas City Chiefs.
They brought the corner and followed it with a safety blitz. Second down and 10. Dillon now squirting through out to the 34-yard line. He got a couple of extra yards in there that I didn't think were there for him.
He's a good patient runner and a big strong kid. Every time he runs the ball, you don't see many people stop him.
With the blitzing defenses at the Eagle Show, now I know why you say when I ask you, why doesn't Boomer hurry up? Not against his defense. Take the count down to the end of the third quarter. Here's the score. Back after these messages from your local station.
The authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited.
Along with the Liberty Bell, I'm Charlie Jones. Bob Trumpy, 34-21. Philadelphia, their most prodigious offensive output of the year. The previous high was 24.
And the last 5 times Philadelphia's had the ball, points, going back to the end of the first half. So that's the way you take control of the football game. But the Bengals are still clinging here. They still got a chance.
They trail by 13. They need to answer again. 5 of 9 on third down conversion. Boomer on the run. Fires, and no, they're saying it is incomplete. I thought for a moment that Hundon had it.
That was an excellent job by the defensive back. Knocked it right out of his hand. Boomer again avoids the rush, steps up. Who is it that hits him from behind? It's Stevens. If Stevens is not there right at the moment the ball gets into Hundon's hands, it's a completion. Excellent job by Matt Stevens.
So Lee Johnson now will kick to Freddie Solomon. Stevens saving the first down. High snap, pull down. Good kick. Taken at the 20-yard line. Slips under one tackler, returns for 4 yards following the 45-yard kick. The Eagles have the ball and they have the lead. We'll be back in a moment.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Chrysler, engineered to be great cars. By Castrol Syntec, the full synthetic motor oil that protects in ways other oils can't. And by Staples, the office superstore.
14:43. That is the time remaining in the ballgame. The Eagles with the lead. They want to take their record to 6-6-1. They hope to get up 9-6-1, and that 9 wins will get them into the playoffs. They need some help from a couple of other teams along the way. But right now it looks doable. Garner is dead. That is Steve Tovar who really decks it. Now the last 5 possessions of the Eagles.
And this goes back to the first half. Right here, that's where it started at the end of the first half, continued into the second half. 27 of the 34 points scored right there. Man, that is taking control of a football game. Coaches just hope for a situation like that. You'll take it anywhere. And the offensive coordinator, John Gruden, has seen his young pupil, one Bobby Hoying, look like he's been in his offense his entire life.
20 of 31, 214 yards, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception. That's the only interception he has suffered in the NFL. He is on target again. Michael Timpson close to the first down marker. Let's go to New York for an update.
All right, Charlie, tie game in Buffalo until this play. Todd Collins under the rush, gets it off over the middle. Watch the terrible job of tackling by the Jets in the secondary. The end result is a 62-yard touchdown and the go-ahead score for the Bills. They lead the Jets 17-10 with a little over 12.5 to play in regulation. Charlie?
That one may go right down to the wire. You have that feeling about some ball?
Yeah, you're right. Those two teams always play each other very, very close, and the Jets are not about to give up.
Third down, a little under a yard to go for the first down. Play action. Timing pattern deep, and it's incomplete. Overthrowing Jason Dunn, the only tight end who hasn't scored a touchdown. For the Eagles, their other two, Jimmy Johnson and Chad Lewis, both have scored.
And you see the disappointment on Bobby Hoying's face? 5 straight drives they score. Oh, man, this is a bummer. But
and he had him open, too.
Yeah, he did.
He was a little long on the throw.
But there was enough pressure that made it a difficult throw.
Greg Myers is the return man. Tom Hutton will kick it away. .22 time remaining. A lot of time for Cincinnati. Terrible kick. High and very short. And will go out of bounds, and Cincinnati will have very good field position to start this drive. Only 30 yards on the kick. Back in a moment.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza, delivering 1 million smiles a day. Call for pizza now and share a smile during the game.
Welcome back. Naughty Boying is nice.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. And if Santa has a gift in his pocket right now, Boomer Esiason would love to be the recipient.
Something quick, Charlie, is what Cincinnati needs.
There's a quick completion and a first down to the far side. Now the last 5 possessions of Philadelphia they scored. Here are the last 5 possessions of Cincinnati.
Not good. Not good at all. Just 1 touchdown. That was an answering drive. Then the last time they hit it, 4 downs and out. That includes the punt. They need points and need them now.
They're hurrying up the offense just a bit. Not as quick as it was last week. Here is Dillon. He's really a horse, isn't he, Dillon?
Yeah, absolutely. And the magic not here today for Boomer. More yards to this point, but he hasn't really controlled Philadelphia the way Boomer did last week against Jacksonville.
Second down. Has pressure, he's sacked. Back at the 44-yard line. Mamula gets it. His second of the year.
It's looked to me like this is a move that Mike Mamula set up for a long time. There he is right there. He jumped outside, then comes back inside with one big, strong push against Kevin Sargent. The kid just keeps working. He's not big enough to play defensive end. He's the only guy who doesn't know that. I mean, he says he's 250. He's probably about 245. He never gives up on any play.
And if you listen to the tape, Mike, hey, you're big enough. That's the first time Boomer's been sacked in the ball game. Comes right back with a first down completion to David Dulles.
The one thing Boomer Esiason has done today, with all the pressure that Philadelphia has put on Boomer Esiason and the Bengals, is he's slid around the pocket beautifully to avoid the rush. There have been people all over Boomer Esiason, but he's still been able to complete passes.
Dropped it down, came with a sidearm. 38-yard line of the Eagles. This is the outlet, and it is incomplete. He had pressure coming. That was Corey Dillon.
There was one player very, very late getting on the field for the Philadelphia Eagles. It was Red Hall, 97. He was very late coming on the field. As the defense deploys, here's Red Hall coming in. He is onside. That's legal. There's no problem whatsoever. Not much of a pass rush, but ends up in an incomplete pass. No damage done.
Late arrival, second down and 10. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up. Great protection for Boomer. He throws, and it is knocked away. Troy Vincent, who has that hip pointer, questionable if he can come back, is answered. He is back.
He was mauling Darnay Scott. Once again, now this is good coaching. You run with the quarterback. Look at that.
Oh, now that's pass interference.
Absolutely, it is.
I thought it was.
Absolutely, it is.
Are they not calling it anymore in the National Football League?
Well, apparently today they've let up on it a little bit. But when you have aggressive corners, there's going to be contact from the first snap to the last snap. And Troy Vincent, one of the best at it.
Third down and 10. Blitz is coming again. Pump fake. Now he throws. And it is caught in traffic. James Hunden. That'll be a first down. 11 yards on the play. It was third down and 10.
Again, Boomer Esiason avoids some pressure. Not a lot. But the crossing pattern again worked. You see Darian Conner, 93, right in his face. Boomer pumps. Darian Conner jumps up the air. Still makes the completion.
Third down, 8 of 13. 7 first downs. Whoa. Here's the pitch. Corey Dillon. Hurdles, 20, spins, 18-yard line. Remember, the margin is 13 points, and there's still a lot of time. 10 minutes, 36 seconds, and counting.
Good block here by the tight end on Mamula. McGee gets him right there. Now watch this leap. He just avoids all of the bodies there. Almost caught from behind by number 97, Red Hall. And Corey Dillon keeps those legs driving.
Reminds me of Skeets Nehemiah, the way he came over the hurdle.
Ronaldo could jump him.
Yes, he could. James Hunden on the receiving end.
Now again, this is the experience of Boomer Esiason. He said, let's go, man, get back here. But the reception goes out of bounds, stops the clock, going to give Cincinnati as much time as possible. And that's part of the veteran experience of Boomer Esiason.
Going on first down, flag is down.
I don't think Cincinnati was set, Charlie.
Taglia, the intended receiver. It will be against Cincinnati.
Just a little too quick in the setup there.
Boomer does like to go on first down when he can. He can control the defense.
Illegal shift by the offense, number 80. Never set before the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Now, Charlie, the other thing it does is it can wear the defense out a little bit. Now, when you get up there and you snap it and there's play after play after play, it can wear the defense down. Remember, this drive started at Cincinnati's 36-yard line. So Boomer's done a good job here of 1, saving time, 2, getting the ball on the field.
10 minutes left. Blitz is coming. Picked up. Throws. End zone. Tipped. It is incomplete. Darnay Scott, the intended receiver. Troy Vincent again with the cover.
And that's the matchup they wanted. Inside motion, then the slant. Vincent, a very, very quick defensive back right there to knock the ball away. That is perfect coverage.
Second down and 15. Eagles 18-yard line. Philadelphia up 34-21. Boomer throws. This one is complete to the 9-yard line. Darnay Scott has it at the 9. It will be third down. 9 yards on the play. So it'll be third down and 6. Boomer picking up the tempo. Not quite as fast as it was last week, but in the latter part of the ball, he's starting to pick up a little bit more and a little bit more.
And you can see some fatigue in the Cincinnati receivers. Darnay Scott very late getting out.
Scott's in motion, cuts across the middle, runs into traffic. They throw it in the end zone. He's got it. No, it's Tony McGee. Scott ran into the traffic, and Tony McGee broke clear, carrying an Eagle with him, and has the touchdown pass of 9 yards.
That's one of those crosswalk patterns. You get a big crowd of people out here, and hopefully somebody gets run off, and that's exactly what happened. Tony McGee kind of breaks loose. There's decent coverage, but the safety is late getting over there. That was a brilliant drive by Boomer Esiason and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Did you see what happened to Darnay? Somebody grabbed a jersey and spun him around in all that traffic. Here's the extra point. It is good by Doug Pelfrey. And Cincinnati climbs right back in it. We'll be back with the kickoff in a moment. 9 minutes and 13 seconds. Boomer Esiason now pacing the sideline. This is Deuce Staley, the kickoff return man. And thus far in the ball game, his number 4, long 31, average 24.8. You know what that comes up to? 99 yards in kickoff return. So that's what they call the hidden yardage. And you can add 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 yards to his total. 144 yards, unofficially, of course, on his kickoff return. Greg Myers makes the tackle, 44 yards on that return. And the Eagles have that short field that they want.
Good patience here shown by the kickoff return man. He kind of jukes through there a little bit. Excellent blocking, and all season long the Eagles have suffered just terribly from this, and man, has it changed today, and that's been one of the biggest factors in the game.
So the Eagles start at the 45-yard line of Cincinnati. First down.
Now that's ball control.
They lead by 6. They'll work the clock. Ricky Waters.
Now, Charlie, here's the advantage of the West Coast style offense. Even though you may not be able to run the football, you can still throw it with great certainty. It's almost in some instances like a handoff, and that's one of the great things about the West Coast offense that is here in Philadelphia, and Bobby Hoying is just executing beautifully. The little slants and the little drags, they're like runs. And this is where this offense works so well.
Savvy sends people deep. Diving reception at the 28-yard line. Michael Timpson. And a flag down holding against the Eagles. You'll bring it back. That one holding call changes the complexion of this drive enormously.
Yeah, totally. You're right.
That was a first down inside the 30.
But even though the receiver was deep, it was single coverage. That's a simple pattern. And
Holding by the offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
On Joe Panos, who's missed the last 3 games. He's been out with an eye injury.
He was one of the additions that they really wanted back there. 72 right there. He's holding on to Dan Wilkinson, 99. And it's a pretty easy call. And Panos had to have his retina reattached. He was poked in the eye.
The ball goes back to the Eagle 47-yard line, and it's second down and 18. Under pressure, on target at the 41. Ball comes out. They're going to rule it incomplete. Eddie Solomon, the intended receiver, did not have possession. So it will be third down and 18.
Yeah, well, this is something we've not seen from Philadelphia since midway through the second quarter. They've been able to sustain drives, move the ball down the field, make those catches, not make the mistake that results in a penalty, and suddenly,
look what Kansas City's doing. 44-9 over 49.
Week after the other team clinches, that's when I want them. It's like a homecoming opponent.
Third down to 18. We're at one of the defining moments of the ball game.
Yeah, the only thing here for Hoying, don't turn it over.
Here comes a double blitz from the backside. Rolling right, throwing, pass is a diving grab, and maybe it's on. He may have picked up the first down. He needed 18. It was third down and 18. He goes to Irving Fryer.
That is a first down, too.
Fryer, who has now caught passes in his 14-year career from 19 different quarterbacks. And he likes the way Hoying throws it. He told it yesterday.
Yeah, Sawyer slipped down. Irving Fryer did not have the first down, and just in the professional ranks, you can still rolls for the first down. Huge conversion for Philadelphia.
Third and 18. Ricky Waters starts off with a stutter step, heads to the sideline. That will stop the clock with 7:04 left in the ball game. Ambrose was chasing him.
And it had Philadelphia. That got him out of a huge jam.
And we'll come back to hunt this minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Because now, even if they can't convert here and get another first down, a punt placed perfectly will give Cincinnati 85 or 90 yards to score, and that's exactly what most coaches would like to have.
Second down and 6. Goes to the far side. Pass is complete. That's Kevin Turner, the new dad, with a new touchdown earlier in the ballgame. And one of it with a great catch.
Yeah, again, though, this is just like he's got linebacker coverage on him, and this is just like a run, Charlie. When you can single up a running back on a linebacker, that's Tovar trying to keep track. Catches it on the second time for the first down.
But alert enough to drag the toe.
Yep.
Dot the I, as they like to say. First down. Just inside the 23. And the pitch to Turner. He's rejuvenated his offense. He's to the 15.
Charlie, what's happened is that the Bengals defense have faced so many snaps. Remember, Philadelphia had 44 snaps in the first half and then continue their dominance in the third quarter. The defense has been on the field so long in this game now that it's beginning to show signs of wear.
He spotted at the 16, so it's second down and 4. Inside the 20 today, 4 times, 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. Capitalizing in the red zone. Ricky Waters. He must break a half a dozen tackles to work his way to the end zone to put the capper on the ball game for the Eagles.
Well, if you're an Eagles fan, you saw everything you wanted in that drive. Started with a good kickoff return, a big third down conversion, Hoying to Fryer, and then an outstanding run by Ricky Waters for the score.
His 20th carry of the ball game, the touchdown. He's rushed for 98 yards. His 5th touchdown of the year. And tack on the extra point.
This is pretty well defensed up front, but Ricky Waters just shows great patience, blocks off his, or kind of bounces off his own blocker, and gets it in the end zone.
5 minutes and 29 seconds, time remaining in the ball game. Prior to this outing, Eagles offense had scored only 24 points as their high. They have now scored on 6 of their last 7 possessions. They have 41 points. Cincinnati is 28. The margin is 13. 5 minutes and 24 seconds. That is the time remaining. And now let's go back to that touchdown.
Yeah, from the end zone, this is going to look pretty. Lead block here, but watch the great patient job that Ricky Waters does. And you're also going to see some fatigue on the part of the Cincinnati defense, kind of standing up. Watch 33 Ambrose come in here, try to tackle him with his shoulders. That's fatigue. Since the middle of the second quarter, the Eagles offense been on the field so much, there's not much gas left in the Bengals defensive tank.
Cincinnati will start from their own 33-yard line, first down, with 5:19 remaining. Boomer to his outlet, that's Eric Bieniemy. Out across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. William Thomas with the tackle. Now they hurry up.
Absolutely in the hurry up. This is the 2-minute offense, and it starts at 5 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the game. And Boomer is one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen in this circumstance, Charlie.
Second down, 7. Goes to the outlet again. That's Bieniemy. Makes a couple of yards. Not going to be enough. Third down now.
That was a terrific tackle by Willie Clark.
Yeah, I thought he was going to break it there for a moment.
Yeah, out there by himself.
Third down. Another one of those defining moments. It's a screen. Kajana Carter on the screen on a third down. Converts for the first down. 12 yards on the play. And the defining moment for the Eagles, 3rd and 18. That continued their drive. This continues the Bengal drive.
Yeah, and Esiason telling his players, get right back to the line of scrimmage. Now this is where the headset and the communication from the sideline works beautifully.
4-man rush. Going deep into single coverage. Adjustment downfield. Pass is complete. Darnay Scott. Scott is answering here in the 4th quarter.
Again, Troy Vincent, who has been the man in coverage all day long on Darnay Scott. And it looked like Troy Vincent that hip pointer was bothering him. He couldn't really stay with Darnay Scott. Beautifully thrown by Esiason. Big pickup.
41 yards on the play. First and goal, 8-yard line. Outlet flag down, and Bieniemy is down.
Yeah, I don't think the Bengals were set again.
Matt Stevens with the tackle. It will be against, what's that little Z
That what? No, I think he's going like.
No, Bruce Costley. Bruce Costley.
Oh, he's just calling generally personnel.
By the offense, number 84 was not set before the snap. 5-yard penalty would be first down.
So Z personnel are now.
Yeah. 84 is Mike Jenkins, and he was just in. Here is the Darnay Scott catch. He's on the outside with Vincent. Vincent not really moving with the same authority he did earlier. And Scott makes a nice adjustment to it.
First down and goal, 13-yard line. Here comes a double blitz. Everybody is covered. Whoa!
Boy, threw it right at Mike Jenkins.
Yeah.
And that thing just ricocheted off Mike Jenkins about 15 yards away.
Mike, a rookie free agent from Hampton.
He runs the right pattern, but oh, that ball just eats him up.
It does. Second down goal to go. 13-yard line, 3:25 time remaining. The difference, 13 points. Here comes everybody. And a grab in the end zone for the touchdown by James Hunden with a defender hanging all over him. They're not going to call anybody for anything. You might as well grab a fistful of jersey and play football. That was Charles Dimry. And Gunner said, well, okay, Dad, it's about time, but you got to hurry.
I'm ready to go home, Gunner says. 5 catches, 118 yards. People in Cincinnati were concerned about Carl Pickens tearing his groin muscle. Who would take over? Well, Darnay Scott and James Hunden have both had big days.
Hunden with those 2 touchdown passes. Remember early in the ballgame that 52-yard reception that he had on one of the long drives. And the extra point is good. And the Bengals claw their way back into this ballgame, 41-35 with 3:20 left.
All right, again, you're going to see Philadelphia bring as many guys up here as they possibly can. Well picked up. Boomer doesn't even set up. And then this pattern is not really a pattern. It's just get by the guy. And an outstanding catch by Hunden. There is excellent coverage there, no question about it, by Charles Dimry. But Boomer, one of those veteran great quarterbacks, Charlie, that they don't mind throwing the ball to a receiver who is covered. We've seen him do it for years and years and years. Marino, Elway, Esiason.
Now the question for Cincinnati is, can they stop the offense of the Eagles? And they haven't been able to do that, have they? Don't forget, coming up next on most of these stations, game 2 of our doubleheader. Most of you to see Dan Marino and the Dolphins face Jeff George and the Raiders. And others to see the Steelers take on the Cardinals. That's game 2 of our doubleheader. That's coming up next on NBC. But we're not through here yet. We've got 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. And Cincinnati trails in this ball game by 6.
Yeah, Charlie, I think the Bengals are in a situation they feel their defense can stop Philadelphia.
What about an onside kick?
So I would consider an onside kick here.
And Philadelphia's thinking the way you are. Yeah, they have their hands team.
Yeah, I think it's a very smart move. You got to take a chance here because the Bengals defense they barely slowed Philadelphia down, let alone stop them. So
on an onside kick, from a Cincinnati standpoint, the ball has to go 10 yards or be touched by an Eagle before you can recover it. They kick it deep. And here is Staley. Remember a moment ago, he had 44 yards on that kickoff return. Here he's got 10, 15, about 21 yards on the return. Sam Shade with the tackle. 22 yards on the return. I believe he has about 160 yards in kickoff return, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Certainly been a big factor in the Eagles' success today.
166. 166. And here's Bobby Hoying.
How about those numbers in your 3rd NFL start? 23 of 36, 251. Well, let's see if the Bengals defense can come up with something. They need field position for the offense. They need the ball.
Philadelphia at their own 31-yard line, first down. Charlie Garner cannot make the corner. He is cut down by Greg Myers. Cincinnati may want to start working the clock and using their timeouts, and they'll take their first one here. What they're trying to do is preserve as much time between now and the 2-minute mark, so if they can hold them when they get it back, they don't care if they're out of timeouts, but so that they control.
Sure. Yeah.
They control the offense.
Well, the defense, the only way a defense can stop the clock is with the timeout. The offense can stop the clock with an incomplete pass, a ball is just put down into the ground or go out of bounds. So, yeah.
All right, now while we have this timeout, let's see what's going on. Buffalo defeated the New York Jets 20-10 in a good ball game. Indianapolis loses by 3. That's the final to New England. This is amazing to me. Kansas City 44. I don't care when you play the 49ers. 44-9. That is a statement by the Chiefs. Jacksonville in the 4th, leading Baltimore just by a couple. St. Louis in front of Washington. We got a couple minutes to go in that ball game. We've got 3 minutes to go in ours. Second down.
Bryant.
All the way at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, he was wide open.
Renard Wilson knocked it down. Now, they said that he is an A-gap blitzer. Now, I didn't want to say it at the time, but what is an A-gap blitzer?
Well, I'll explain in a minute.
Okay.
You see Pryor running a crossing pattern. He's wide open. An A-gap blitzer is an outside blitzer, somebody who stands on the outside shoulder of the tackle and rushes to the quarterback. They're trying to teach him the other aspects of the game of football. That's what he did at Florida State, that A-gap blitzer.
Third down and 10. Here's the blitz coming.
Picked up.
Boy's going to run. He hadn't run for a while. He's knocked out of bounds after 3 or 4 yards by Greg Meyer.
Well,
that helped the clock.
Yeah, that helps the Bengals.
It does.
That's one of the few mistakes he's made today.
If he slides, the clock has to stays in bounds. The clock has to continue.
Yeah, good job of picking up all of the rushers up front. And if he just goes down there, there's going to be another 45 seconds off the clock.
So now Cincinnati will have an opportunity with time. Greg Myers is the return man. Tom Hutton to kick it away. We got whistles. Hold the phone.
Oh, it's a great punt, too.
Oh, whoa. That's 72 yards in the air.
Snap, ball start by the offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty, it's still 4th down.
That's on Jeff Harrod. He's on the kicking team, one of the special team members.
You see Ray Rhodes, there's still some doubt in his mind as to what's going to happen here, the way Boomer Esiason got the Bengals down the field last time they had the ball, and only leading by 6. This game is not over.
This one not as good as the first. Taken at the 31-yard line. Kind of a jump spin at the 37. Now let's take a look at the Miller Time game summary. There it is. Boomer Esiason, 23 of 40. Bobby Hoying, 23 of 37. 2 outstanding quarterback performances.
Yeah, it's seldom you see 2 quarterbacks in a game have those kind of numbers. First time over 24 points in 1997.
And they scooted right by it to 41, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
And may not be enough. Cincinnati starts at their own 37-yard line with 2 minutes 41 seconds, and I believe 2 timeouts remaining. I'll double check that. Boomer sets, he throws, has a man, and he hits him at the 50-yard line. It is a first down. At the 50-yard line, it is Darnay Scott. Wisconsin said he's got to step up, and he has certainly stepped up here in the second half.
I believe that's his 6th catch of the afternoon. He's well over 100 yards. And it looks like Philadelphia, which is normally a man-to-man blitz team, is now back in that soft zone.
6 for 109. Boomer goes to the far side, and this one is incomplete. Darnay Scott, the intended receiver, way over his head. Roy Vincent had the coverage. That pass was not catchable. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, again, the experience of Boomer Esiason. There's nothing wrong with overthrowing a receiver. Most of the patterns run in this situation are going to be 10 yards or more. So it's 4-down area. We don't care if we miss one.
2nd down and 10. Here comes a delayed blitz and a screen to answer it on the opposite side. And John Carter is down at the 46-yard line. That'll go for 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Rhett Hall makes the tackle at the 2-minute mark. You don't want to miss the end of this one. We have still 2 minutes to go in this ball game. Cincinnati has the ball and they trail by 6. Stay with us for the second half of the doubleheader on most of these stations. Miami at Oakland or Pittsburgh at Arizona. The Bengals, their record is 4-8. They won 3 of their last 4. The Eagles still in the hunt. Their record is 5-6-1. Look what Boomer has done in the second half. 17 of 27 for 199. 2 touchdowns and an interception.
Calling at least 2 plays in the huddle, maybe even 3. In a hurry-up situation with 2 timeouts left.
Is Boomer Esiason the quarterback of the future for the Bengals?
No, he is not. He is not the quarterback of the future.
But he's playing like one, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Third down. Here comes the blitz again. It's picked up. Good protection. Fires over the middle. Pass is complete. Has the first down. That's David Dunn, who hangs on to it and backpedals inside the 30-yard line. 15 yards on the play. Backpedaling with Zordich hanging all over it.
Charlie, great protection by the Bengals offensive line.
That was 3rd and 6. Fires again. This one is over the middle. Goes to Darnay Scott. Scott is inside the 15-yard line. Minute and a half left. Charles Dimry with the tackle. Here come the Bengals.
And Charlie, you notice the Philadelphia Eagles are not even getting down in their stance. They're barely set to go.
Boomer sets. Boomer sets. Boomer waits. Boomer waits. Waits more. Throws back to the end zone. No, did not get both feet down. Could not get both feet down. And that was James Hunden. Dad, way to go.
Gunner's a little more interested.
Oh, you bet.
But you can see fresh people coming in for Philadelphia. Again, excellent pass protection. Boomer looking around. So it looks like it should have been a clean catch, but it just got right through Hunden's hand.
Oh, he thought he had it. Look at that. 1:13 time remaining in the game. 41-35. The margin, 6 points.
Eagles need some pass rush here, Charlie. He's got entirely too much time to throw.
They show their blitz. Here comes everybody. They have 3 in coverage. The fade in the corner. Is it there? No, they're going to say no. Whoa, David Dunn, I thought he had it.
So did I.
Willie Clark was there with him. It will be 3rd down.
Charlie, it looked to me like the Eagles brought 9 guys. Well, 8.
8, you're right. Yeah. And there's pass interference on that. A little pushing and shoving.
But that ball was caught.
Yeah, they're not.
That ball was caught.
Save that.
That ball was caught. I don't know if both of his feet were in, but that ball was caught.
Well, let's look at it again, and we can see if we can pick up his feet. We'll do it in a minute. We'll save that one for you. Don't worry. 3rd down. Here they send everybody. 3 in coverage. Battling for it, and a flag down. Flag down. Charles Dimry and James Hunden. Cincinnati total yards 496. Pass interference against Eagles. Philadelphia's total offense 446. Whoa.
1, look at the pressure. 2, it's just a fade, and you're hoping for the
Pass
flag.
interference by the defense, number 38. The ball is placed at the 1-yard line, 1st down.
With 1 minute and 3 seconds. Now, I have a thought. Do you want to score quickly?
Absolutely.
You don't want to wait?
No,
you don't want to give the Eagles too much time.
Well, get it in the end zone. If the Bengals win this football game, they will have stolen it from the Philadelphia Eagles. Absolutely stolen it.
Into the end zone, it is Brian Milne with the touchdown. 2nd touchdown of the year for the fullback.
That is now 20 points scored by the Cincinnati Bengals in the 4th quarter.
At this point, we have the tie ball game. 41-41, extra point to come. And we have exactly 1 minute left. Doug Pelfrey. The holder is Lee Johnson, and Greg Truitt is the snapper. That is the trio to take the lead. High snap, good hold, down, and it is up, and it is good. And Cincinnati is in front, and credit Lee Johnson on the high snap. He grabbed it and pulled it down.
Absolutely credit Lee Johnson.
Oh, yes.
How about that? Philadelphia scores on 6 of 7 drives through the 2nd and 3rd quarter, and then the Bengals score on 2 straight in the 4th quarter. They've now scored 21 4th quarter points, and they have just flat worn out. That up tempo has just worn out the Philadelphia Eagles defense, and Gunner now back in it.
He's right in the middle of it, isn't he?
Yes, he is. The magic continues for one Boomer Esiason. Absolutely remarkable, Charlie.
Yeah.
Almost by sheer will, Boomer Esiason possession, elevated the offense in the fourth quarter.
And there are your total yards.
My goodness. Woo. Look at Boomer.
Cincinnati will host Tennessee on Thursday night. Next Sunday, Philadelphia will host the Giants as the season continues. And here's the key for the Eagles. Deuce Staley.
Charlie, you remember what Ray Rhodes told us? He said, we don't like Boomer Esiason starting. Last year he did it to us against when he was at Arizona. He's done it to Philadelphia again today.
1 minute to go. Clock does not start until the ball is touched by Deuce Staley. He slips. He picks it up at the goal line. He has 5 yards. He has 10. He has 15. He has 20. 25 yards on the return from the goal line after slipping. And Andre Collins makes the tackle.
But he shouldn't have let the thing bounce.
You're right.
If he catches it on the fly, they're going to be at about the 40 or 45. Now the advantage that Hoying has is all they need is a field goal, obviously. And to this point, Bonio's longest kick of the season has been 48 yards.
We have a timeout called on the field. Andre Collins is down on one knee.
You know, I look around Veterans Stadium. There's a lot of people missing here. What are they doing going home?
Oh, you didn't want to miss this one. Bruce Staley, number 22 for the Eagles. Their extraordinary kickoff return man has returned 7 kickoffs in the ball game for 195 yards, and the cheer is for this man, Bobby, Bobby, Bobby. Meanwhile, we'll check out all the scores quickly for you around the league. Here's Cincinnati leading by 1 with 54 seconds. Buffalo defeats the Jets by 10. Don't forget the second half of the doubleheader on most of these stations. New England defeats Indianapolis by 3. Kansas wallops the 49ers. Whoa. But now back to this one. First down, 26-yard line.
6 defensive backs for Cincinnati.
54 seconds. As time throws downfield, pass is complete. 50-yard line, 47-yard line. Irving Fryer. Here come the Eagles. They want a timeout.
Tito Paul was the man. Well, I'll put it this way, the man in coverage. But again, Irving Fryer with all the years of experience. Here's the matchup. He gets Tito Paul to turn. Paul thinks he's going deep. That's an easy completion. That's just taking advantage of a young man without a lot of experience.
29 yards to the Cincinnati 45-yard line. The Eagles have 2 timeouts remaining, and Cincinnati has 1 timeout remaining. And Chris Bonio inside of 35, 13 of 13, 6 of 14 from 35 yards plus. You mentioned his longest, 48.
Obviously an accident. But
well, they would like to get the ball to around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and the coaches know those numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll build their next couple of calls to that spot.
.42 seconds. Fumbles the ball, falls on it. Now that will go as a sack, and that stops the clock momentarily at the 35-second mark.
Is Hoying hurt? Slow getting up.
Philadelphia stops the clock. They take a timeout. They have 1 left.
There is just a 4-man rush. I still can't see who gets his hand in there. It looks like Javon Langford is the guy who may have stripped the ball away, but Philadelphia takes the timeout, kind of collect themselves. It was Langford who stripped the ball away from him. .35 seconds, time remaining in the ballgame. Ray looks pretty calm there. We both know better.
But not inside. Inside it's a mixed master churning. And it is also for Bruce Costler. I said to you, is it fun being a head coach? You said, no, it's never fun being a head coach. Describe it a different way. Second down. Throws almost intercepted. Almost intercepted.
Corey Sawyer was in coverage, and he accelerates right back over the shoulder of Irving Fryer. That's allowed because both are going for the football.
So now it is third down, 30 seconds.
And Hoying was a little late with that delivery. That allowed Corey Sawyer to get right back into the pattern.
Cummings steps forward, pass is complete. It will be a first down. Freddie Solomon battles his way to the 32-yard line. He'll spike it 18 yards on the play, get everybody set. There's the spike with 10 seconds now left in the ball game.
All right, 31-17 is 48 yards. It'll be about there.
They have one timeout remaining. They can try one more play if they desire and then take the timeout.
I think 10 o'clock, 10 ticks on the clock, you do try one more play. But it's got to be a timing pattern. And there can't be any deviation in the pattern. Because I don't think they trust Boniol from this distance.
That is right on his ragged edge. Trips, 3 wide receivers on the far side. Blitz is coming against the trip. Comes back to the single coverage on this side. It is complete. Irving Fryer out of bounds, stops the clock, bows to the audience. 5 seconds left. Boomer looks on, 17 yards. Now will be up to Chris Boniol.
Charlie had 3 trips left. Single coverage, Fryer to the right. And it was a rather easy completion.
21-yard line, 31 yards on the attempt. Hitting from 33 and 26 in the ball game. 2 of 2 going for the hat trick and the victory. And Cincinnati may want to ice him. They had one timeout remaining. Now the most accurate kicker in the National Football League at this moment.
Until next Thursday. And again, Charlie, you correctly identified that there were trips over here, 3 receivers over here. But Hoying goes back, sets up, good protection, throws it beautifully. Ashley Ambrose, Corey Sawyer, 23 in coverage, was not even close to Irving Fryer. A relatively easy completion. Now it's up to the kicker.
Tom Hutton is the holder. Steve Everett is the snapper. Remember, Everett had his hand stepped on earlier in the ballgame, had that bad hand way back in the first period.
Yeah, they also missed an extra point earlier this season against Dallas.
31 yards and the win. He's got it. Time runs out on the kick.
Center cut. All set up by 2 big receptions by Irving Fryer.
Under the guidance of Bobby Hoying. As Boomer looks on. Final once again, Philadelphia wins at 44-22. For Bob Trumpy, I'm Charlie Jones. So long from Philadelphia. You're watching the NFL on NBC Network of the Super Bowl.